Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, coming off slight declines to start the week on Monday. It was a familiar story again with big name tech shares all being sold off. The NASDAQ leading things to the downside on Monday. We had Apple and Netflix down about 0.9% each. Microsoft more than a full percent to the downside. And others as well getting hit hard to start the week, including Tesla. Michael Burry, we're going to talk about that coming up, announcing he is now short once again in Tesla. Communication stocks were in focus to start the week. The big deal between AT&T and Warner Media announced yesterday. More negativity this morning for both. AT&T down 4% here in the pre-market. We'll have a look at those charts coming up here as well. Lots of earnings to get through on the retail side of things this morning. There's Home Depot, there's Walmart. We had Macy's as well out with a report. We'll have a look at that. Fisker reported also. Fisker apparently not going to accept Bitcoin or even hold Bitcoin, just in case you were wondering. 10-cent music and Baidu to have a look at this morning as well. It's Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at how things are shaping up so far. Nicely positive top to bottom to start things off. The NASDAQ 0.5% leading the way, which is good to see after yesterday. Both the Dow and S&P positive territory as well. You can see the TSX here in Toronto basically flat to start the session. Bitcoin, yeah, unchanged so far. We had crude oil a little higher. Ethereum back to the upside after more declines to start the week for cryptocurrencies. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning. Interesting one shaping up here. We are trying to bounce after yesterday's declines. As we said, we had some of the big name tech shares leading the way to the downside to start the week yesterday. Some earnings back on tap to have a look at this morning. And more short stories coming for Tesla. I feel like this is never going to go away.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't just yet. Welcome. It's another fun day here, certainly for the markets. If you're looking for activity, you're looking for movement. The story goes past, I think, these retail numbers, and of course, well, retail earnings in the space, which we'll be talking about, because some of the trends from yesterday do continue. I mean, I find that you mentioned AT&T. It's just that is about as clean of a downward trend. You could draw a straight line through that, and that is what you call grinding. Grinding to the downside, and continues to do so in the pre-market. Whether you look at AT&T or Discovery, both ends of this getting essentially beaten up and woodshedded here. So that's going to be another story. It's going to be more trading in that name, and of course we'll talk. I don't know if you mentioned there, but crypto sort of coming back in. Coinbase still some downward pressure because that convertible note offering, which putting some downward pressure on the stock. So I don't know if the bottom is in just yet on that one, despite some other signs that it could have been around here. I'm not sure that's just there yet, Sean.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We just posted our note there, and yeah, I was looking at that 239 level for Coinbase. Check this out. This is what we're talking about. Yesterday, you guys saw me hit the money. You know, in the afternoon when we shorted AT&T all afternoon yesterday on the close show. It was really the only trade that I put on of any significant value yesterday at the close. We were short, I think it was right here, this break, 31.80, 31.85, something like that, and we just, were able to cover it. It was a great trade out of the short side. I mean, this trend, like Neil said, it's pretty clear. And then you have the imbalance locator today. Like, you never see anything like that, right? So AT&T today going to come through with over 6 million shares to sell. They did an absolute disaster. They were a wreck, what they did with Time Warner, and then yesterday with Discovery. They're basically just killing every shareholder that owns this stock. People own this for the yield, and then they chop it in half, so see ya. Down again. Well, I mean, we're only going back to, like, I think it was a couple months ago's levels. Yeah, so I mean, we're not the end of the world. It's just AT&T was kind of rocking, and now you're going to get it back probably 29. Let's see if we get a pullback back to 29. So it's not a crazy move, but again, you hold it for the yield. Now it's going to be 4.6%. So it's not, still not too bad. But yeah, I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff. Fisker in look today, up to 1140. That's a good little look for them. I'm with you, Brendan. I don't know why they mentioned anything about Bitcoin there. No one was actually wondering about Bitcoin, but they did.
The environment thing, right?
Zero revenues. So there you go. Fisker, zero revenues, although I think they have Randy's deposit. So hopefully they don't go running anywhere with that money. But yeah, look, I'll send out the tweet, the Post-it notes up, and there's a lot of big names. I think it's a rebound kind of day today, Brendan.
Yeah, let's hope so. We had a pretty good start anyways to the morning. We'll see how things pan out here in the next hour as we get you set for the open. Let's kick things off by heading over and saying good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. I wish you all a great day. I'll talk to you all on the chat, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll have a look at the top 10 traders from here at Day Trade the World from a Monday, a little bit of an interesting Monday. We had that nice rebound late in the day. You can see NASDAQ OTC pink sheets here. Number one, 33,000. Some more U.S. markets coming in. Number two, 22,900. Same story, number three. About the same. Look at Europe. A whole bunch of European markets here. Number four. Same story for number five as well. 19,000 coming out of a whole slew of European markets. So good look there on the opportunities that still exist in this market. That's why we show you that every now and then, just to show you there's more markets outside of just North America. It's going to be an interesting one here, I think, as far as how these retail earnings go to affect this overall market. We are accelerating to the downside as we speak right now. We had a couple just absolute blowout reports. Home Depot, to name one, absolutely crushed right across the board. And I mean, the stock, the last I checked, was basically flat here, guys. So another one of these earnings reports that we're seeing, fantastic numbers and just no follow through at all.
Well, it depends where you come from, right?
I mean, it's up 2%, Brendan. I mean, that's going to be like a big earnings report. Actually, I think Home Depot normally falls down on earnings reports, Brendo. So I think this is a pretty good one. And then I heard Neil that right there before we started, and he's completely right. It's where it came from, right? I mean, look at this move. You don't even have. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is like 30 days in a row, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 red candles since what day is this? March 8th. Maybe 5 days. And really, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days from March 8th to April 16th. So you had about a month and a half with only 5 red days, and those red days, you can't even see them on the chart, right? And so I think it's been a big, huge winner. Congratulations to everyone that's been long Home Depot. I think it was a little bit of a no-brainer trade when you think about why. Springtime, people staying still at home, still locked down. Here in Canada, of course, Home Depot is one of the only stores that's really allowed to be open. Believe it or not, although everything's open for curbside pickup, but Home Depot to the upside here, and I think it's the right time, it's the right season. We've seen what retail's been doing. I mean, we're going to have Macy's up on here very, very soon, and yeah, Home Depot's a big win. Congratulations to everybody, and I think it's okay. I mean, that move, I guess, it was up a little bit more than that, even in the pre-market, actually, 328. So we're actually coming back in a little bit here. I believe, and you may not like this, I believe Home Depot probably sells off a little bit today because of that. It's up that 2%. So let's just see what happens here on Home Depot. I wrote down 326 to the downside, and that's when we were at 327, 327.50. So we've already broken that. So here's my levels here on the sticky note, and you have it right at the middle there. 326 to the downside on a Home Depot good report.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of where they come from, I mean, Walmart's up 4%. Similarly, they had strong numbers and a beat across the board as well. But we look at that dip. We talked about this when Walmart got hit going into early March, and that was a nice little dip for value. I dipped into it, and certainly, and we talked with Mark about other places that you could have gone. Target being fantastic, of course, but you get that tight consolidation. It's just more apt to make a bit of a bigger move as opposed to that Home Depot chart. Now, I'm not necessarily going short in Walmart today. I think there's a few other names that I'm looking at for some breakdowns. Oddly enough, despite the short interest, I think Macy's could fall into that as well. But this would be, I mean, obviously you'd hope for the situation where we actually don't sell off on strong earnings today, but you do see that has happened across the board, especially in that tech space. I look at something like Macy's, which is actually getting much closer to like a recent like double test at a high. Now there is that short interest. You don't have to contend with that when you're looking at, of course, the bigger names like your Walmarts and your Home Depots. But Macy's has been on a fantastic run as well. It was already up and past this $20 range, at 20.5, and the pre-market has shown some signs of coming to the downside. So there are these little, I guess, like the chinks in the armor coming through on some of these names that are starting to slide back a little bit here that would make you think there could be some selling off the open.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll touch a little bit more on some of these retail names coming up here, guys. Let's talk about that old adage that sell in May and go away type of idea that has been around for decades when it comes to the market. I was reading a story this morning implying that Miss Cathie Wood, speaking of the Wood stocks, sold, guys, and this is in 1 week, $1 billion. So her outflows in 1 week was worth $1 billion. Specifically, there was Apple mentioned, so she sold some Apple, got more Twitter. But talking about selling in May and possibly going away, Cathie Wood, I think, leading the way here.
But she won't go away though, because like she's so active, she'll buy $1 billion tomorrow.
So she sold at the bottom. Like, good job,
appear.
Cathie. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why. I guess people just want to invest with her, so that's fine. You made a lot of money on Tesla on the way up. Congratulations, that's fantastic. But like, here's the ES. Like, sell. Like, when did she sell? Right here, like literally at the bottom. I mean, we can watch the ARK. We can watch the ARK ETF, and you can look at them. And I mean, why would you be an innovation ETF? Innovation is future. Innovation is, working your way through some of these dips here. This is just the ES. I mean, we could check out the NASDAQ. Probably makes her trade even look worse. This is not, in my opinion, this is not the time. Like, when did she sell? So she sold Palantir at what, 17? Good job. I don't know. Like, here's the move down 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row now, back to the upside. So look, I mean, I don't really know the story. The NASDAQ sell in May, go away. We've been talking about that for a bit. If you did that, at the beginning of May right here, the NASDAQ was at 13,820. You're now at 13,440. So if you did sell in the very first of May, yeah, it's been a good trade for you. If you bought back here, it's going to be even better. But let's see what happens now. We had a horrible, I don't want to say horrible. You did the stat, I think the other day, it was like 83% or so of all the companies reported beat. But it's about how the market treats these stocks. Summertime's going to be really, really slow. I think, and Brendan, you brought up a good point yesterday too, was that I guess you were reading an article or a podcast or something that mentioned that, off of big moves like that, it's probably going to be a relatively flat year. I think we're going to see that. It's going to be up and down with the different sectors. That's why it's awesome to have Mark Roberts on, right? We're talking about, he likes the water and things like that, different areas. Retail right now is hot. I think it's going to be a switch over to tech right now. So we'll wait to see. But I don't like that Cathie Wood move, and I don't see how you could be part of an innovation type thing and then sell all your tech stocks as they're going down. So we'll wait to see. They have to disclose, so we'll see what's going on. But $1 billion seems to be a lot. Like, you want to sell Apple at the bottom, that's fine. I'm a buyer.
I mean, obviously, like, we know that she's active in terms of managing, which is interesting. As day traders, it's like she's the day trader goddess in sometimes with the active movement. Now, you talk about, in terms of specifics, it doesn't necessarily look horrible. Like, if you just look at that, like the Twitter picking it up, and look, if you believe in Twitter and you like the story, okay, well, you get this, little bit of a dip, and maybe you can catch this trend. It's interesting enough what you would say there, Sean, in terms of selling at the bottom. If you were to draw a trend on Twitter, trust me when I tell you, when it broke this 54 in just the last couple of weeks, that's a trend line break to the downside that it's trying to recover. So this is kind of not maybe like a put up or shut up type of level, and certainly if you have a long enough time frame, a lot of this makes sense. I just find with the activity, the sheer volume and activity in the short term that fund does, you've got to be aligned with what they're doing. It doesn't always make sense to me. I'm sure they have a logic to it. But if you say you're investing for 5 years in those longer time horizons, some of that overactivity and reacting to the market doesn't always make a ton of sense to me there. So, and again, you have to make sense of any fund that you're going to be investing in. If you don't, then just don't put your money there. And if it's made money for you, that's fantastic. I don't necessarily get it. I don't think Twitter is the worst move of all time. Whether or not selling Apple to buy it makes sense, that's a whole other ball game. But that particular one is not the end of the world.
Yeah, let's shift over to Tesla, guys. We mentioned that story real quick off the top there. We learned yesterday, Michael Burry, short again in Tesla. We also heard that story aftermarket yesterday. President Biden going to be announcing more funding. Actually, this afternoon, he's making a speech apparently at one of the Ford facilities in Michigan, talking about more funding going towards the EV space. So it just has a hole here as far as Tesla is concerned. Where are we, and does it matter that Michael Burry is short again?
Well, his reasons matter, but I mean, specifically, the guy has a track record. This is not the first time, because, and I wish I remembered the exact price, but I know I know he had made a move in like the 600s or something like that previously, like months and months ago. So, and not the first time he's taken a crack at it. And obviously, he's got some fame because of the Big Short. All respect to him. He's obviously been very successful. The reasons matter. Obviously, those carbon credits are going to be, Tesla recognizes that's not going to be their future, but it does put a downward pressure on the stock, especially when Stellantis, like one of their biggest clients when it comes to those credits, is likely to be moving away. And eventually, I mean, you get things along the lines of, like Lamborghini's coming out with all EV, and that's going to be across the board. So you've increased competition. Tesla's expensive to begin with. Now you have these controversies that have come around, whether you agree with it or not, when it comes to Elon, the tweets, and Bitcoin. Whether or not that fundamentally matters to Tesla in 5 years, sometimes isn't the point when it comes to the momentum. And the truth of the matter is the momentum is coming to the downside. You do have some that are leaving. Whether or not you agree with it, we're heading down towards a test of that 540 level. I don't know if we got to break this 560 first, and I'll be looking at that level in particular today when it comes to Tesla. It has nothing to do with Michael Burry, but his reasons are just some of the negativity that has already come through. And he thought it was if he thought it was overvalued $100 or $150 ago, then certainly it would make sense that with these downward pressures recently, he would still believe in that. So I don't think this is new news outside of the fact that he has 8,000 puts on. I mean, that's 8,001, I should say, puts on. That's new news, I guess.
Look, this is not to talk about what prices people are long at or anything like that, but like I'm long Tesla here, like $118, something like that. Okay. A lot of people that have been investing, this is only back to March of last year, which obviously you have a lot of stocks. You can look at these kind of moves that have been absolutely incredible on the way back up, right? It's not hard to pick up, some of these shorts. Like if you're going short here, 740, 750, I mean, it's just such a meteoric run to the upside there. Remember, you did have it being added to the S&P, the largest add ever into the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, everything. Like Tesla is just a monster stock that had so much going for it here. Gigaplants in Berlin, opening up in China.
Whoa.
Tons.
That's AMC.
Tons of stuff going on, right? And then all of a sudden now you're getting a little bit of a push back to the downside, right? Elon Musk is going to be a little volatile character, and you're gonna get some of these moves. So Michael Burry or not, I think you got to probably pick some up at 550 here if you like it for the long term. I think there's so much tailwinds, so many tailwinds. I always tell my kids, watch out how you use much and many, and here I am. But there are a lot of tailwinds going to the upside here for Tesla. Obviously, there are people that are going to be shorted. There's going to be people that are long, and it just goes back and forth. So this is a big battleground stock. I like it, and I think you got to pick it up on any dips. If we're lucky enough to get this into the 400s, then giddy up.
Wow.
Remember, you saw stocks like, there's tons of stocks that are moving around, right? Like stocks that go like Square goes from 280 to 200. That's a huge move. Tesla has that in it, right? So we got to wait for it to go back down a little bit. And I'm a buyer at 550.
All right, let's, there was a little selling that came in there on AMC, guys, while we were talking about that. Don't see anything as far as catalyst, but heads up if you're watching AMC on the watch list this morning. So we're going to get to that. I want to show you this, though. Yeah, Amazon in talks apparently to buy MGM's famed James Bond studio, but more importantly, this kind of goes back to that AMC link From last year, we talked about, there was rumors floating around that Amazon was going to buy the AMC Studios, but now apparently MGM talking with Amazon on selling MGM Studios to Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, MGM had been rumored in the past to make deals with like Netflix and Apple at one point, and now you get the big boy step in. Of course, my daily trade doesn't want to load on Amazon, but it's similarly impressive. Interesting enough, I actually just broke a little bit of a bottom there on Amazon. Light volume, I would say. It's just Amazon just takes everybody's lunch here, and I'm going to find a way to get more allocation into Amazon myself, especially when I consider, look, they're jumping into like health diagnostic as well, which is another thing they're going to be stepping into. Look, coming into this space, when you see all of the competition that is going to be there, Prime just has to continue to make these types of moves. I think this puts some more pressure on Disney. Unfortunately, like as much as I hate to say it, it's probably worse news for Disney than it is good news for Amazon. And I think it's going to be a solid move for them in the long term. They just seem to be stepping on everyone's toes. And if I was going to sell any Walmart, I'd probably put that money into Amazon if Walmart goes up another 5% or so. That would make a lot of sense to me because when you're the best, you're the best. And Amazon just continues to do it. It's a good pickup for them. I'm not sure this is going to do anything for the stock, at least today or in the short term. Long term, fine, fantastic, but more pressure on the likes of Disney and Netflix, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was still looking at that Tesla. I mean, I like Disney for long term. I mean, we're seeing right now with Discovery and with AT&T and with some of these companies here talking all about media. I'm actually surprised that yesterday Disney didn't move a little bit more than it did, but Disney missed on a few different metrics. But you know what? It's mask time in the United States now. So I think Disney probably gets back going. Look, I still think Disney could spin off. You see all these things happening right now. I think Disney has the ability to spin off stuff. They could spin off ABC, ESPN, things like that, sell those divisions. So there's a lot of hidden value with Disney, and I think that you could probably start buying this stock as well. And I'm always a buyer of Amazon on every single dip. So, and I think, I mean, I see some talk here in the chat like they need to be broken up, this and that. I want Amazon to be broken up. Like I want Google, Facebook, all these.
Facebook, yes. Amazon, no. I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. I want them all because I just think unlocking all this value, Amazon's no longer just an online shopping portal, right? They have tons of tech. They're getting involved with, I mean, we just saw that, the drug distribution, putting up, I saw yesterday, obviously, this is what we're talking about here, the COVID tests online, things like that. I mean, they're just diversifying everything. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a bull, obviously, and I want to keep buying all these major cap techs on any dip and any sort of negativity. I want to bring it on. And someone said that's what Kathy Wood was trying to do, was talk down her positions so we could buy them up at lower prices. Okay, really? That doesn't make sense when you're already in the trade. But yeah, we'll just keep on buying, man. I mean, that dip on Palantir, you heard me talk about that. We bought some at 1850. We will get to Palantir today, but there it is today, 2050, right? So, I mean, I was here on the show talking to you guys about some of those levels. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the very dip there, 1650 that day, but we bought again at 1850. So I think you just keep buying these solid names and you'll be rewarded. Just don't buy Fisker, Nikola, or anything EV related other than Tesla.
Imagine if AWS was its own company. Like, that just gives you an idea of how huge that would be. Let's talk about upgrades and downgrades. Speaking of buying, all of the credit cards are on here, or a couple of them anyways. MasterCard, Visa, both catching upgrades today. Price target increases as well, 259, 402. Snowflake on here. Gap, some of the retailers to come. Before we get the market open, we'll talk about Altus a little bit here down on a downgrade. Clover can't get out of its own way. Still, guys.
Let's say Clover down 12. I don't think Clover's down 12%. That's, yeah, I mean, I have Clover as flat on. I mean, Clover got crushed yesterday, obviously. No, but I just had to quickly double check. I didn't think it was down, but it's yeah. If this one breaks 660, it's going to be on my watch. Obviously, the bigger movement was in yesterday's price action, but that's going to be on watch. Those credit card makers are certainly all good value there. But one of the names that stood out there, Sean, was Snowflake up again, so looking rather strong. So that's a good one. Clover looking pretty weak there, guys. I'm probably going to be in the short end if it breaks that 660 low. That's for sure. That would have been the case whether or not it caught an upgrade or downgrade. It didn't matter.
Yeah, I've been talking Snowflake, and I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say looking back and just randomly say, oh, I bought Snowflake down here at 190, because I didn't. So I did not buy Snowflake, but I love Snowflake here. And it's so funny because just a couple days ago I said I wanted to move everything over to Google, and there's just so many names that I like. Yeah, I love Snowflake down here. We talked about Frank Slootman, everything that they're involved with. You see what he did with ServiceNow. I think Snowflake's a monster buy, and it just, you got to have the sort of ability, I guess is the right word without getting too crazy, to buy and hold something that does go against you. This is not like, Virgin Galactic or anything. Like, these are like real companies here that are, selling product that people will buy. So like 223, you're getting close to that spot right now. I think I will probably step in to a little bit of Snowflake once we do, because winter's coming. So 223 there, I like that buy, breaking through the 50-period moving average. They had the price target of 285. I think I'd be happy if you got that, but I'd be even happier if we got all the way back to 325. So we were talking about Snowflake. I liked it here. On this breakout, that never happened. I should have paid a little more attention. It did dip down. We did have earnings, a big move there. The big move happened on the day I wasn't here. It was Friday, from 188 up to 210, something like that. So Snowflake has big moves in big market days. So I like Snowflake. I think it's basically a baby Palantir, if that makes any sense.
All right, we'll jump into what is moving around in the pre-market. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you head over and register for our free watch list. We send it out every single day for you. We do all of your homework. All you have to do is just register and log in and get all of the news. And then you come join us at 8:30 and we tell you how, or give you an idea anyways, of how to approach trading it when the market opens. Let's go to Walmart to start things off. Raising their full-year sales forecast and also same-store sales with a nice number here, guys, for Walmart to be expected, I guess, during the pandemic, benefiting from those massive lineups that we had here, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the e-commerce slowed down, which, as people get out, I think that's going to be obviously true and going to be a bit of the case. And they're going to get into that healthcare space. I think long-term, that's going to be a big one for them. Certainly, it can be a big one for them. I shouldn't say an absolute certainties there. And we talked a bit about this at the open, about where the stock has come from, giving it more of an opportunity, I suppose, to move to the upside. At the beginning of the show, we were up 4%. And this was, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago. We're showing you the chart. We're up 4% on Walmart. We're already starting to give a little bit back, or it's starting to give a little bit back. I was looking to see anyways if it had gotten up to that 148 level, like any kind of a press. I think that's would have been a short-term sort of barrier. I do go back into going into last week and look at this top here at 142. And I tend to think that could be a bit of a, I guess, support on the way back in here, guys. So I wrote that one down for Walmart in terms of a potential off the open dip buy, but I see it rounding off here. And I just say to myself, man, if it breaks 143, there's a bit of a scalp trade. There's even, and this is very similar to what I'd put on for, I guess, like your Modernas or like NVAXs or some of the vaccine names when they'd make these gaps, and I felt a little bit bearish on them, at least going into the open, where if it makes a ramp, or at least a push into 930 that fails at the top, and this is almost a 145 top, you can basically play a short in front of that 145 to see if it gets a little bit of a rollover. And if it can't hold 142, I'm probably not going to be looking for a bottom in Walmart today. I'd love to see these earnings follow through. And you get some pushes to the upside on strong numbers. I mean, the market's looking pretty solid here so far today, but it doesn't have that feel just yet. I mean, a 145 break could be in the taps, but first things first, I'm likely to short in front of it. 142 holds will probably try a dip there in Walmart. The better day trade might be in Macy's from a volatility standpoint today, but I don't think you ignore completely Walmart and Home Depot.
Yeah, I wrote down here for Walmart, 144 break to the high side there. I mean, I like Walmart. I like the report. I think it's been a good one. If you see the daily chart, okay, there it goes. It's going to actually load up here. We did break out. I mean, basically, this is the kind of stuff that I look at here. We talked to Mark about consolidation. Him and I talked about these key levels and stuff like that. And right here, just sort of been bouncing around. This is April 1st, right? And so you're back, month and a half or so back down to this level, and then that sort of created this level from 136 up to 142. It just kind of bounced around there, and then now today you get officially the break. So let's just wait to see what happens. I wrote down here break of 144, and then long it back to I don't, there, that's better. 142.50, it's the very, very top. I want to check in where Home Depot is right now because I missed that 326 break. Maybe it's higher than that. But there's the Walmart break. And again, you know, like when I wrote these notes, it hadn't broke 144. That's why I said 144 break. But that break did give you 75 cents. Let's see if it happens again, a 144 break on Walmart. Otherwise, I think, here's a little bit of a longer term chart here. This is just a 20 period, so I think you can get it back into this 142.50 area. You have to go back to, this is, I guess, May 3rd, where the high was 142.50. So I'd like to see it come back to this area. You know, you do have a 142 bottom as well. So we'll wait. We'll wait for Walmart. I think that's the right decision here. And we don't like to take anything breaking right off the open. So my idea would be to try to get a 140, 142 long, something like that in this area. Watch it to see what happens at 142. Maybe give it back to 141-ish. But ultimately, Walmart wins today. It's up 3.5%. That's a big move for Walmart. They obviously have the dividend. Home Depot's coming back to life as well, so we can watch that. That's 327 on the high side. I still like a 326 break downside. It looks like we've had a lot of barcoding in that area. And then a quick check before we go on to the next one, which I'm with Neil. I've marked down Macy's. Macy's has the stars beside it there, so we'll talk about that when it comes. AT&T just growing, getting bigger and bigger. Now 8 million, wow, it'll be 8 million, 7.5 million shares. I don't see Home Depot, Walmart, or anything even on here, Brendo, so we'll wait to see what happens off the open. Everyone focused on another big name here.
Yeah, that is a big number on that big name. Real quick, Agenus, I sent this out much earlier. We saw this was halted for news pending in the pre-market. Here you go. Bristol Myers paying $1.38 billion to develop, market, and sell this Agenus's cancer treatment that they've been working on. So you can see $1.38 billion there from Bristol Myers to that AGEN. If we could real quick here, Robbie, just to show you. Up big time, 28.5% there, but coming back in a hurry here for this AGEN. Okay, let's bring in Arun here and have a look at the overall market. We'll see how the futures are setting up. I mean, it's trying to find a bottom. We're right back to break even, in fact, here. Arun, what are you looking at today?
Yeah, you know, yesterday was one of those days where it took forever. I mean, I had a long, but it took me all day pretty much to get that just back to flat. So we're kind of going sideways a little bit. You kind of expect that after a big move on Friday. And here we are today. We had 80 marked off, 41.80 I had marked off yesterday. It looks like that's still there. So we got to use that as a potential short option if you decide to go in that direction. On the downside, though, I've still got 41.15. That's back from Friday. So if we can actually catch a long there, now that, you know, the bands have been established fairly well with yesterday's, if anything, sideways action. So anything below 45, I think you can look for some longs with 41.15 as your stop, and looks like anything above 65, you can look for shorts with 41.80 as your stop. And then if 80 breaks, 41.80 breaks, I think you've got to take a shot at the long side. Keep in mind the all-time high is not that far away, relatively speaking. It's only 50 points away from there. Less than 50 points, actually. So you do have those options there. I think now, after a run up as Friday, because that was kind of straight up, and then yesterday we took our time to consolidate. Even though yesterday's consolidation was weird because it was in one direction and then it came back up, the volume still says it's a consolidation. So you get that after a run up. Now you actually are setting up some sort of trade. You can potentially make, again, 80 on the top end, 15 on the bottom. Looks for trades in front of those levels. If one breaks, then you take the breakout and you look for the extension. That's a simple trade, right? And sometimes you got to sit through those days where it's boring and you have nothing to do. But again, that's what takes the time to develop a proper trade. Now we have the bands. We can potentially look for a breakout there.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. We are under 30 minutes until the open, guys. Let's continue along with what's moving around in the pre-market. We'll talk about Fisker here. They reported earnings aftermarket yesterday. There were no earnings as expected for Fisker. The interesting note that came out in the earnings call, as we kind of said there, someone actually asked the question, were they going to get into Bitcoin? Were they going to accept Bitcoin for payments for the car, to which they said no and never.
But this is a common question that gets asked. It's like every single hospitality CEO in the last year on the earnings call gets asked, are you making mass mandatory? Are you making vaccines mandatory? So now in the EV space, because of what Elon essentially has been talking about, you're going to get that question. So they answered definitively, which I mean, I can't imagine there was going to be a different answer in that particular case. So it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, look, Fisker is zero revenue company, obviously, but you are at least getting an opportunity here. And I mean, I don't know. I'm probably like you, Sean. I would have looked at that 1140, which you can probably throw out the window at this particular time. So I'm looking at yesterday's action, and this was a breakdown at that 1140. So you're not just getting that out of nowhere, and then you come back up into the afternoon. And this was actually like 1 o'clock when it made that top there. Holding above that price would be key because it gets you like a consolidation in this cluster here. And you guys saw the daily chart, how far it's been depressed. A consolidation in that cluster does give you a nice breakout opportunity off of yesterday's 1180 high. But you know, if we head back southbound of that 1140, I'm likely to be on the bearish side of the trade, which I don't know. We've done 400,000 shares pre-market, and we're still sitting right in the middle of that range. It feels like a trap in here, so I'll have to wait to see if it gets below that 1140. Then there might be some shorts off of those levels, or I mean these current highs that you're seeing at 1150. But you know, kind of right through that price that I liked, which was the afternoon high. We've already broken through it, and obviously that breakout didn't even give too much there. So if it can extend, I'd be a buyer on a break if we can consolidate on the high end of the range, and you look at that 1180, just because there's so much room to run. But the bear train might not be over for Fisker if it can't hold something as simple as that 1140. And not to say that it gets back down towards that $9 bottom. But you know, consolidation in that range still gives you plenty of solid day trades. If you throw out the fact that it's moved $20 to the downside, you know, if we get, let's say we're talking that 1125 when 1150 stop. I mean, you're happy with moves into 1050, 1075, that kind of a thing. Those are significant for a day trader, even though they pale in comparison to the volatility that's on the chart there, guys.
Yeah, I wrote down, so I like the long. I don't know what to think because the call didn't seem to be too crazy there with guidance or anything like that. We're always waiting on deliverables for these cars, but they first got to sell something. So we'll wait to see. I'm wondering if no news is kind of good news, and if something comes out today, 1160, this is a decent level. I mean, it's the only level I can really find. You go back to May 7th here, 1160 stopped, dropped down to 10 or down to 11, and then it comes here again in the pre-market. We see this 1160 high again just on the 14th, so a couple days ago into that crazy move to the downside there when we crashed from 1150. We were talking about this, Nikola was up, a lot of names up these days, crashed to the downside from basically from this level, 1160, all the way back down to 10, and then slowly it's been making its way back up. So on the 20-minute chart, I like the 1160 break. I like it for a long. And the thing about it is, you have some of these moving averages here. So 1115, 1120, 1130, things like that. I think it's worth the long here. We talked about MindMed yesterday and seeing if that one could moon for us. It didn't. It mooned to hell. It went downside moonage, and we wound up losing that 20 or 30 cents. I think this is something that's going to be very, very similar for me. Let's take a Fisker long, realizing, guys, that this top has happened already. This 1160 top has already happened. So we'll see if it happens again and we get burned going long. That's fine. We'll cut our losses, but I think it's worth trying it at least on a report that I guess wasn't as bad as they thought, up that 1.43%, which is nothing. So if they want to get it going, they will. Let me just see what is I'm going to open up the Trade Ideas app here because we have the ability here to look at what short interest might be. So I'm going to go open up here. I'm going to go to Tools, single stock window, and Brendan, you can see what maybe your Fisker has as well. FSR, I just want to see what the short is here. This will make me change my mind. Hello!
I'm guessing 28.
We have it at 26 right now, Fisker. So a good little level there for short interest. So if your boys hit this again, then we'll hit some backflips. But I'm glad that I brought this point up here because I had no idea it was that large. So let's see what Fisker wants to do. All this means is that the shorts could be right. It's already coming off a little bit. So let's see. Crowded trade on the short side. I don't know if Fisker said enough to bump, but here we go. I like 1160 as a try.
Yeah, I see 22.8. So everyone has different calculations for that. So in the ballpark, though, 22.8 versus 26 there. So choose whichever you would like. They even said their spending was going to remain kind of steady for the remainder of this year. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it was all that bad for Fisker. Baidu next, another one with decent numbers for Baidu, up 4% here in the pre-market. They beat right across the board. They even said their non-advertising revenue growth was 70% year over year.
Oh, literally just typing here. I like. I'm making notes. It's interesting. I actually guessed 28 on that on Fisker, and I'm kind of liking some longs better. Of course, it sold off just a little bit there. Baidu. Oh, Baidu. So, I mean, how many stocks are actually breaking, pre-market highs or breaking levels in the morning, and you can add Baidu to that list? Just quickly, I want to go over there was this flush out, and of course, I would go back to March here for some of these round off stories, and Baidu, another one, a value play for some. It depends on what you like in the Chinese territory. At 173.50, we've bounced off that. We're heading back to the upside. I go back and I look at a couple of clusters here, and you go back into last year, the end of the year, you had this 202.50 top. It then bounced, and the only real pullback after that break, and then you get that 360 high. On the way back in here, we've now sort of put in this bottom end range again, where it tried to bounce, tried to get to that 200 area, and then eventually broke, and then you get that 170 bottom, and then we're coming right back to trying to break through it. So that 200 to call it like 203 area looks like a good one for a potential bigger breakup, but we got to get there first. So am I going to be thinking about a fade off of 200 to 203? Sure. But I like Baidu. I don't love it usually for getting positions in the pre-market, and it's one of those stocks that's going to stick out for me there in that regard. But I had been looking at that 197 even break. Obviously, I'm going to throw that one down and flush it down the toilet. I'll probably have to go into what I thought was going to be a secondary idea, which would have been like a dip into pre-market lows. That feels a little bit spicy now that we're essentially breaking off the top here. So I'm likely to sit Baidu out off of the open and then just watch for it settling down off any levels and maybe hunt for something either at 200 or at like 203 for the short side of the trade, or maybe buying like a little bit of a VWAP dip. But the breakout price that I would have liked is come and gone, and that was just looking at that 197 even.
Yeah, I wrote down Baidu to 200 to see where it can go from here because, again, the Chinese names have just been beat up. My favorite name in this area, of course, is going to be Alibaba, and we talked about why that was. So we'll look at Baidu today. Look, Chinese e-commerce, I mean, it's huge, right? I mean, I think this is the number one next to Alibaba, number two. I like the 200 break on this name. We'll see. I just like it because it's an even number, 200. So we'll wait to see options attached to that. This thing has moves, man. And again, to have bought something at the bottom, I don't know if this is going to be the bottom in some of these Chinese names, but look where it's came from again. Like just in February, this was $340. So now to the downside, it looks like it's trying to accelerate back up. So I don't mind it. Operating income rose 32%, $6.91 billion in the quarter, or sorry, that's Walmart. Baidu operations expanded 34% year over year. Wall Street expected a range 138 to 273. These guys are moving. They're up 4% today. And I just think on a beat down name, I'm going to put the order in to go long through 200. So this is Baidu. I like it. I don't love Chinese names, but Neo's come back a little bit now. We'll see if Baba can bounce off the same level, 200. And here goes Baidu back to the upside. So I think Baidu has at least back to, not today, but I think in the next couple of weeks, you could get to this 50-period moving average. Like I said, I think tech is coming back, and there's nothing wrong with buying the top ones in China.
All right, here comes another one. Tencent Music also beating estimates with their earnings out aftermarket yesterday as well. They posted Q1 revenue that was $1.2 billion. That was versus, 900 million. If you do the conversion from yuan, it was 7.82 billion yuan versus 7.73. They also announced yesterday that they extended their agreement with Sony Music Entertainment for another multi-year extension. So positive here for TME as well, guys.
Yeah, but they were caught up in that mess with Viacom and Discovery. Wow, that was all. Okay, whatever. Like it seems like that was just yesterday. I mean, Sorrell stepping in and buying a few of those names. Not much of a ramp, but when you start to think about how far this had come, that 14, it's just like if we're not gonna go up on these numbers, given what would seem like on the chart would seem like an absolute steal in terms of value, and then the bottom getting put in. Of course, that's 14.20 because 4, 2, and 0 just have to always be put together. So last week low of that 14.20, you're basing it off of that. You're trying to put in a higher low off of 15 even. I was geared up and thinking to myself, and when we asked about what are we looking at for earnings tomorrow, at one point I think I said you have 10 cent, man, and 16 looked like it was going to be a hell of a break. Unfortunately, we're sitting at like a 15.05, sorry, a 15.08 or something like that bid. I know 05 was right, and we're going to be testing that 15 area. Not what I was anticipating seeing. Hopefully we can get a bounce off this price because I'd love to be looking at that 16 even if this thing can have finally made a bottom here. If we bounce off 15, fine. That could be a good look. It's hard for me to want to short this through 15 even, so I'm not likely to have a trade until we can get to that 16 range because that's the break that I was hoping would be going into on a strong number in 10 cent, and it's doing the absolute opposite 10 cent music.
Yeah, I haven't really looked too much at 10 cent music here today, guys. I'm still looking at Baidu. I also see here Best Buy with a new story out, and this is one that me and Mark Roberts went opposite ways on, and I'm happy to report that this one I win finally. Best Buy here, they're saying now masks. Obviously, if you're I don't know how it works in the U.S. Maybe you guys can put it on the chat, but like, did you guys get like a vaccine card or something? Like, I don't know how people are going to prove this, but Best Buy says vaccinated staff, they can know, and customers need not wear masks. So I think that's going to be, look, it's only 100 volume today. I mean, there's no shares, but I just want to look at Best Buy here. I think that's another mover, and it's in the retail spot, right? So very similar to Home Depot, Walmart, and I just think if Best Buy is about to make those announcements, then I do think that they're probably going to come soon for Walmart. These are just more catalysts for Home Depot, for Walmart, for Lowe's, for Target, things like that as stores reopen. And again, we're stuck here in Canada, so I don't really know what it's like there in the States. Are these stores packed or not? But you can see that Home Depot, Walmart, big numbers. So whenever Best Buy is going to report, I'm excited for that report as well on that news.
All right, a little bit of a heads up here for anyone holding Lucid. Churchill Capital, the SPAC, they just came out saying that when the deal is done between Lucid and Churchill, the new symbol that will trade is LCID. So when the actual combination is concluded, Lucid will be listed on the NASDAQ under the symbol LCID, in case anyone was wondering. Let's go on. Macy's, another one that raised their annual sales outlook for the remainder of 2021, beating both top and bottom lines here. Another retailer with good numbers, guys.
Oh, if there was one of these if there was one of these, and we talked about this at the open of the show, I mean, Macy's approaching that 21, and such a strong move going into the earnings, the 3 sessions in a row, looking pretty good here off of that bottom. And I do count the flush out that it had to 1550 because, obviously it was a down day, but it was a bit of a wipeout flush out bottom. Unfortunately, my 15 minutes doesn't even want to load. Unfortunately, you do already get this break at like 8:30, exactly as we were coming on the show. This 20 even breaks, and then we're heading 80 pennies in the pre-market, so a decent sized move has already come to the downside. Now maybe Macy's tests back up here, up to like a 1980, 1990, maybe even testing that 20 off of the open, and you can catch something at or above 20. Ideally, it might not even give you that kind of a trade. So yeah, it's still up that 2.5%, fantastic numbers, but sometimes it's about where it's come from. Macy's has a decent short interest as well. I think part of that in the run-up into earnings was a little bit squeezish. So I'll try my hand at the short if I can catch something off that 20 level first. There was a pre-market double top at 2050 that bears watching, but you saw on that daily, we're rounding into that level close to that 21 where there was likely to be some resistance anyway. So I wanted to be on the short side of Macy's today, and then maybe think about buying a dip or something like that in a Walmart or somewhere else. Now let's see if we can't still put that on despite the fact that Macy's has already come down through that 20 mark.
Yeah, I like Macy's today. I think those were strong numbers. And I mean, the guide forward was great as well. What did they say here? Yeah, forecast earlier. Yeah, a big one. 19.75 billion versus 20 billion was the street. They're looking for 22 billion basically. So Macy's, a nice move to the downside for sure. Crushed it, but still up from yesterday. I like a 1980 long, maybe even a 20 long. I wrote down 2050. That was the high of the day. So we're gonna watch to see if we can retest there. I think all the important stuff right now is going to be, look at that. When it was 6 million, I said it's probably going to 8. Let's see if we can see 10 coming up very soon on AT&T Pond. Okay. AMC as well getting a big bid. And I just thought maybe there would be, there's some Fubo. Ford, love me some Ford, guys. Ford is like Spin it on Ford, guys, and it's not even a big move, but again, follow me on Twitter. I just tweeted out my latest Ford buy. Randy knows about that. I told him about that a couple weeks ago. 1130 on that bad report to the downside. I don't even see. I mean, there's Palantir. Ooh, PaySafe too, nice. But what I was looking for here was Macy's, and I don't see it. So I thought that there would be a little bit more interest than there's been on Macy's here today, but 1.73 million is good, obviously, for the volume. So let's just wait to see. If you do go long upside, I would just use whatever these bottoms are, whatever they happen to be coming into the open here. So we don't want to get too wicked out, but that's 19.25 there at the bottom. So if you do like the short, I think a 19.25 short makes a lot of sense here. So I think we'll probably try that also if it goes down, but I do like the long through the top better. Now that it's faded out, it's not going to be like a double star like I did right down here. If Macy's had held it up, we do like that right here. 2050 wasn't a big trade there, going upside, but it didn't hold, they don't want it to go. So we'll have to wait. If it gets up there, we'll take it. But for now, nice bottoms, and I think you have to go short. It looks like they may want to sell this, obviously. So you have to go short if they want that. So through 1925.
I'll show you this headline real quick, guys, as far as that Biden speech is concerned for this afternoon. If you missed it earlier, he's set to unveil more details regarding the 174 billion electric vehicle incentive at Ford facility in Michigan coming up later on today. They're talking about incentives for battery production facilities in the U.S., but no incentives for purchasing high-priced EVs. So more on the manufacturing side, less on the purchasing side, it sounds like, is to come. Let's touch on AT&T real quick. Again, if you missed it yesterday, the merger agreement not received very well, to say the least, between AT&T and Warner Media. $43 billion. Part of that, AT&T going to cut their dividend to 40% from 60%. So we're down a lot again today, to say the least here for AT&T.
I just saw Michael Roberts say that Macy's, and I was going to ask you, they changed their EPS on call. They changed it. So I don't know if that's true or not. So that would change everything because so we'll find out more about that one. But yeah, AT&T, go ahead, Neil. I don't even have it ready. I was just reading this.
Oh, so I'm just as curious as you about any revision that got made to that Macy's number. Obviously, it's going to affect our trade. I don't want to do anything until we see it. Now, obviously, I was trying to pick Discovery bottoms, and thank goodness I wasn't too stubborn about it yesterday because, and look, we're looking at AT&T here, I know, but they're both moving to the downside, essentially lockstep. Now, you get this gap down through like that 30.80 and this like 30.50 overnight, but it's been about as clean a trend to the downside as you're ever going to see. Below this 30 range, I think you can start to stay bearish. Now, I look at that increasing imbalance number, like 8 million was up to on 10 million pre-market, and I've seen that party before where sometimes, and it's counterintuitive, sometimes on one of these massive sell imbalances, you'll get, oddly enough, like a spike of buying that goes into it, and then it'll open up and then maybe give you a reversal. So I'm looking at $30, and we're about 35 cents away from it. I'm looking at that $30 just to see if it spikes up into 30. It's not a horrible idea, and I'll come back to the 1 minute chart here. It's not a horrible idea to try to see if it goes into this 30, where there was a cluster before in the pre-market, got up to about like the 15s, and if I can catch that off the open, only risking 10 or 15 cents on any kind of a spike, I don't know that I'm giving that through the pre-market highs. That seems a little bit reckless, but that'd be the way I'd like to get into AT&T. Shorting it on the low on a massive sell imbalance feels like a bit of a trap to me. I've seen the reverse of that with like a NEO or something like that going completely the wrong way on you. So I'd much rather see if I can't sell into some buying off the open at 30 or around 30 even, I should say, with that teen area as my stop.
Remember, we've seen it over and over again. I'm still on the Macy's chart. That these imbalances will turn around. So like you do get a lot of sell pressure into that imbalance. We did look at it, and I'll look at it in a second. It was 9 million or so, 8.5. So we'll look at that in a minute. But yeah, AT&T just, I mean, it's been a disaster. I mean, here's the 20 period, just do. They announced the deal. It just doesn't, get much love from Wall Street there. So you go straight to the downside, and then on a daily chart here, like I said, a big move to the upside. That was well done by AT&T for sure, and by their shareholders. So that might have been a spot. I'm invested here in Canada in Rogers. Obviously, I like Verizon a little bit better rather than AT&T now because of this move. I mean, they just paid $85 billion not too long ago for Time Warner. Like, how's that working out for them? And then now they come back to the downside. So You already broke through. This is the daily, so the 50 periods right here. I don't know why my daily, I guess I got to change this. It's not showing today yet because it's not closed. 3081 is the 50 period, so that's bad right there. We're already way below that. 29 and change. We shorted it all yesterday afternoon on the late show, and I think right now 29.50. I mean, there's a lot here. 28.50 is going to be the bottom, right? So I think it's just a matter of where you want to pick this thing up. So I let this thing drop until 28.50. Until then, I'm just going to be watching it, but it's going to be really exciting off the open. Already 11 million shares, 10 million shares. We'll see here. 8.5 million shares to sell right now on AT&T, paired off 1.3. So it's going to start to pair off. You see it's going to go down, down, down as this gets closer to the close, I would think, or closer to the open. Yeah, there it is now, 8.4. So this is going to get paired off. It should start to go up. I'm a buyer at 28.50, but not until then. I don't know if they sell it or not, but AT&T, it's been a rough couple days. And if you're a shareholder and you believe in the company and you've read a little bit about what this deal means, this might be a good time to pick it up. I mean, the dividend's still 4 and change.
All right, I apologize. I missed who it was who mentioned that note on Macy's. Guys, I can show you that last number that came out there just before 9 o'clock during the call. Yeah, so expected Q2 net sales, 4.9 to 5, and then diluted EPS in a range of 3 cents to 12 cents. So yeah, a bit of a change to say the least.
Yeah, we had written down, what, 39 cents there? EPS of 39 cents beat. Is that forward looking, I guess? Because they looked for 40 to 90 cents. So either way, you're going to go from 40 cents, basically, right, down to 3 cents. So yeah, like I don't know where the.
I mean, it's sold a little bit on that, I guess, but
yeah, I don't know where the accounting came. Who's running those books there? But yeah, so I think that's a bad move. So we'll wait to see. Did they slip that in there and they didn't put it on the bottom line, on the top line number when they reported for some sort of a reason? Was it a mistake? Did they look at the numbers and say, wait a second, there's obviously an issue here. So let's wait to see. I don't think there's an issue with the company or any of their sales. Probably just reported wrong. So we'll wait to see here. They corrected it, but I still like a 19.25 short. I mean, it's 19.30 if you really want to think about it, but I'm going to wait for the quarters and then give it probably back to this 19.80 level that we have there. Oh, shoot. There goes Fisker, and I just missed it. My order did not cross far. And there it goes. Now I'm in. So Fisker right here, we just got long 65s on Fisker. So look at the spread, though. Right now, 20 penny spread. We took long as it breaks through that 11.60, guys. Money where our mouth is, FSR.
All right, bottom end of the list, real quick, one little one to pass along here. For you, MITO, yeah, big mover today, 26% to the upside. I can show you on the daily chart, there's a very obvious level way up here at 180 to 190. So if it gets anywhere near that kind of 180 to 190 range, heads up. We're nowhere near that now, obviously at 150, but it looks like it is struggling. It was trading 118, 115 area yesterday. So long way to go either direction there for MITO, guys.
Yeah, I'm in this one here, Brendo, and off of this, a couple of lower highs here. The last one being that 165 area, and just playing a bit of a spike off of 150. Now there's 148. I got it one time for some profit out there, so that was a decent 10-cent winner. But a 148 to 150 has been holding all morning, and if that does not break off of the open, we're looking at a test of the top. No average ins, the case here, and because it's been mentioned that 180 is far away here, you have to watch out for it. So I'm not going to be taking any trades or adding to any shorts on this until we get to probably that $2 range. Yeah, I mean, I talked about, for me, I needed to see Fisker break back above that 140, get into that top end consolidation range, and then immediately, I thought this wouldn't happen until the open, but I just got filled in the bottom end of that 40-cent range at 44. So as quickly as it came up, it came back down. And Coinbase just broke 240 as well. God,
guys,
damn it.
Look at Home Depot here. Look what I wrote down. I talked about it. Home Depot, 319. So that's a $7 winner. Like I take Fisker break long side. I have Home Depot written down to go short there at 326. There it is, downside. So hopefully you guys have that. If you do, fire them off, man. Fire off the hot dogs. The sticky note wins again. You always win, sticky note. Why do you always win? Brendan, take it.
Real quick, guys, on that Fisker, there was an announcement there. Fisker and On2 signed an agreement for delivery up to 700 vehicles by 23. So that was that spike we saw in FSR there.
Okay, well, I mean, there you go. I mean, with only about 90 seconds to go, I'm going to show you guys.
God, Home Depot.
Coinbase broke that 240 level, so continues to slide to the bottom. I don't know where the bottom is going to be here. They're on the watch list, of course, with those convertible notes. A lot of times that's going to be downward pressure on the stock. There's some arbitrage that goes along. Sometimes there's some arbitrage that goes along with that side of the trade. But this is 238. Yesterday's bottom. It then tested that in the afternoon. I mean, if you can't hold, literally as we're talking about, it's just breaking all of these levels to the downside. I don't want to be shorting breakdowns in a stock like this, the absolute low of the day at 929. So I'll have to play the weakness off of the 240 at the open. Already had that MITO and then got into Fisker. With only about 45 seconds to go, things are starting to move very, very quickly here. I want to get on the south side of the Macy's trade. If I can. I know we already pulled off and there was that update in the number, but it's starting to bounce back a little bit. So it flushed at 1960. I might throw some offers in that range and see if I can't short any kind of a pop.
Yeah, we're short right now, actually, in this name again.
Oh.
So we took the short on Macy's. I'm still beside myself about that Home Depot, but we'll wait to see what happens now. We got more long Fisker at the bottom here. We'll see. Obviously, we didn't expect any sort of deal to be announced. Fisker down to 1075 is our out.
And there's the. What are you doing, Randy? It's like 4 seconds to the bell, my friend. 3, 2, and 1. Randy, way early. It's a false start. Like okay, whatever. It's all good. Randy, do your thing, buddy. That's why we love you, because there's never a dull moment with the Ranster there. Anyways, I tried to get some of that Macy's on a bit of a pop. It didn't get to that 50s. Might have to take a more shallow push to the upside on that one because it continues to flush.
Hot dogs, we're already. Bang, there's Macy's. The big win is in the building right now. Macy's to the downside. Let's just get this out, guys. Big trade here on Macy's. We just got that out. Good trade. Our best out there, 1890 right there on Macy's. So let's see if this thing wants to flush. Not even open yet, and we just destroyed Macy's on the downside. We like it so much, it's taken twice. Bang, bang. Let's wait to see where it goes now that it's open. Macy's with the big winner already. Let's go. Get to spin the money sign around. Let's get some more wins for you guys right now.
And there goes to the downside, that AT&T, but I want to take you to Walmart. Just got into position on that one. I talked about buying a dip in front of 142. That was hopefully going to be a quick little one that we'll try to scalp $1 out of it. If I was a little bit faster, I mean, you could have actually had that buck. It was about 143 and change a couple of seconds ago. So that dip by looking okay so far. I want to get over to, if I can, that Fisker. I have not taken any more shares that I wanted the stock to open up. It dipped that 144 range. It just bounced off of, 1144 range, I should say. It just bounced off 11 evens or 11 tens. I'll take one more shot in front of that 11 even area to see if this trade can simmer down just a little bit. And that MITO, I said hold off, wait for it to open up, bounces to the upside, kind of as expected. That 140 was a bit of a floor.
Yeah, man, we're just, we still have Fisker. We're still waiting for a bunch of names here to come through. We can check out our Home Depot. We're not in it, but that's a $7 winner right now. Did I say 7? How about 9? We're not in it, but we gave it to you, so that's good. Let's go over to Walmart right now and have a quick look. I had this 142.50 pegged down there. It didn't go there. 142.25 now on Walmart, break to the downside. Let's wait to see if that happens. But you just get a 142 bounce there. I said long into 142, so damn it, looks like we might have missed that one again. Let's just get a little bit into Home Depot here and see if into Walmart. There it is. We take the long now. Walmart short, Macy's long, Fisker long, Walmart, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I just took out that Walmart and we're able to take that quick little buck trade out of it here. No, if it makes another dip, we'll be fine with it. But I got to go over to that MITO. We talked about that 150. I'm going to show you here. It then stalled, and I said don't take it at that 170. Let it try to make a move to that 180 mark, and Brendan told you all about that level. When it stalled here at 172, I just tried to grab some more shares, got a few at that 166. I'm going to continue to get shares now off the high. I wanted to see it fail first, and then jump into more shares on the short side of the trade on MITO.
Yep, we are rocking right now. We'd have a 70-cent winner on right now for our friend Walmart. We took a little bit out, so we got long at 140, right in front of your face, 142.95, in, out, 143.50. Check out this, what we wrote down here, guys. Look at this trade. Walmart right in the top, long, back to 142.50. We missed it because we're too busy celebrating an 80-cent win on Macy's, but, you know, that's a good trade for us anyways. We'll try to average back in if it does come down. We just took out half right there for a nice win on Walmart. Checking on another name that we talked about. I'm pissed off that I missed Home Depot, but that's okay. In the pre-market, what can you do? This bounces off of 198. Baidu, we're still looking for a 200 print, and we're still holding on to our Fisker shares, waiting to see what it wants to do. Downside 1080, guys.
Yeah, and it was close. It was 29.92. I was looking for 30 for the pop on AT&T to get in. So you miss it by a few cents. We're right back to the low of the, well, not the lows, 29.50 we just got to. The low of the day is 29.30. If that breaks, I mean, sometimes you got to be willing to short at the low of the day. I mean, AT&T showed you that, and Discovery showed you that yesterday. We'll have to be doing the same thing again today, Brendo.
We had a monster print on that AT&T. Another one with a huge volume print right at the open here. DoorDash, guys, up nicely. It has come off the highs already, but look at the volume that came in there at the open for Dash.
Okay, I don't mind looking at that actually, because I do like some DoorDash. We did pick up some more Fisker there at 25. Our average price still 50 off of that bad wick long there on the open. That's why we don't put too many shares in those trades. And I told you Fisker today would sort of be the YOLO moment, so we'll wait to see if Fisker goes. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this one, that's for sure. Okay, Macy's though, guys, if you want a big trade, this is a big trade right now, so we'll do some backflips for Macy's. That just keeps going downside. Maybe take off one more piece right now. There it goes back up. So we just put a bid there in the 80s. We'll see if there comes. Let's get this. There I am. That's me at 82. Let's see if we get this print. I guess I'm holding up the level. There we go. We got it as it cracks through. Wow, what a big trade there for Macy's as we're slaying El Dragon to the downside. Bang, bang, bang. Just keeps on going. See ya, Macy's. Wow, this is accelerating a hell of a lot more than I would have thought here. Macy's to the downside. 1870 now. Keep on going there. You don't reprice your earnings and don't get hit for it. So Macy's to the downside. A big trade alert over here, guys.
Yeah, and there goes that MITO. We did take more shares of it. I actually got more of Fisker as well for you there, Sean. I mean, obviously I like the bounce play. I don't think that spike is too dangerous just yet, but AT&T broke through the low of the day. I mean, I don't know. We talked about that 30 area. We got 92s, and that was the top. We missed by about 5 to 10 cents, and now we're breaking through the lows. I got 31s. I want to be able to add to this position on a pop in front of 50s if I can. I'm not going to be looking at Discovery, but one that I'm not ignoring AMC, but yeah, we did miss a flush. Now it just broke. You kidding me? I didn't even get that? Okay, you gotta be kidding me. I just paid down 10 cents on an AMC break. So the maximum spread essentially on a break of AMC here at 14 even. That continues to give back after a 3-day rally. AMC looking like it wants to head to the downside. If I get more shares a little bit tighter to the 14 even, I'll probably jump in to a few more. But AMC giving some back. I mean, it's already given $1 pre-market. This move 3 days ago, just to show you guys, this all has started off of a break at about 11. If you look into some support, I mean, 1250 looks like it could be some 1350, 13 to 1350 going into yesterday in the afternoon. Looks like a bit of a play as well. Brendo, what's up, buddy?
A little one that popped up late in the day yesterday on earnings, guys. This Express Spa, XSPA, they do the COVID testing in airports. So just starting to run here, some volume coming in. Up nicely, 10% for Express Spa, guys.
All right, so guess what we have on board right now? $1.30 in the money right now on Walmart, right? So we called that one right on our sticky note. So it's hot dogs for everybody there. And then we have Macy's as well right now, 82 cents in the money on Macy's. And then so those are the two trades that we have. And then we have our YOLO long out 30 cents right now on Fisker, and just waiting to see if this one wants to go. So right now we're going to go 2 for 2 with our YOLO trade being held on right now. We're doing great, man. We're almost at one of our daily goals. And then, ooh, look at Ford. Yes, sir. We like Ford as well today, up to 1230 here. So big number for Ford. I guess we must have a bad wick here somewhere. 1230, 1240 maybe on Ford. It's not a super sexy level. There's really nothing here. Would like it at 1250 a little bit better. But right now, Ford rocking and rolling, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is where we bought 1131 down here on this crazy day dip down to 1130. So we recently just bought some Ford. So now it's up to 1239. Walmart still running to the high side right now. We'll see if it can get to this 144.75. Then we'll probably take that out top to bottom. Nothing wrong with going top to bottom on this name here, Walmart, 144.65. Almost getting ready to take this sucker out.
Yeah, going to power up that MITO. It's all about having sometimes a plan when volume comes in at the open. We let it test not just the breakout from this like 150 bottom, but also through the high of the day. Wait for it to attempt to get to 180 that Brendan talked about, never did. 172. We gained some shares here at 166, mid 160s. I'm going to start taking it off. Remember, 150 on MITO is a bit of a resistance level or support level we have found. AT&T, That continues to make a flush to the downside. I mean, look, it's a low of the day break. Of course, I wanted 30s, but if you miss your trade, you miss your trade, guys. So we take the low end break. We halfway to 29 even. We take shares out at the 15 range. So day 2 and AT&T is not faring any better. Fisker finally trying to find some legs. I waited a little bit patiently. First at 140 level, and then it came back. Held 11, so I take some in the teens. If it's going to get back, if I thought 140 to 180, so 1140 to 1180 was a key price range, I think there could be resistance at and in that range. So I'm going to take some shares out for profit between 40s and 80s, and then hopefully we get that continuation we're looking for. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Not a huge mover yet, but up 4% here for Nikola. Volume coming in, though. Just had volume alert as we head through 1350 there. So it's been active past couple of days. Nikola moving, guys.
Nikola and Fisker. Fisker finally starting to go a little bit here. We've averaged in, obviously, off this. I mean, that was, I mean, put the order there. So we got it, and that was what that was. But right now, Fisker's starting to go again. We're long at 52s. So we're right back into the money. So we are going to go 3 for 3, guys, as the pin's set up. And I'm not, you saw me yesterday in the afternoon show, right? How many trades do you need? You don't need many. So we're just going to focus on what I feel are the best trades for me. And here we go. I like Fisker today. We talked about why. We talked about the YOLO aspect to it. Willing to lose on this one if it does break the day's low. Let's just see if it gets going there on a report that wasn't horrible. No idea why they talked about Bitcoin, but they did. Walmart looking like it wants to bounce around a little bit here. We could go top to bottom right now on this name. I think that's probably worth doing as I look at a little bit more charting here. The 20-minute doesn't really give me anything. Here's the 3-minute. It's been a nice move back up. We do have this top 140.
Whoa, look at that buyer on Fisker. You see that?
So no, I mean, I'll look at Fisker. I mean, right now I'm in the money, like that's what it is, but that's nothing new. Walmart 144.70 right now. Probably should have took that out 144.50. I hope we didn't miss that high on Walmart there.
There was a 150,000 buyer, and there he is, a 150,000 buyer at 1165 that just ate some shares there on Fisker. Now, for me, I mean, I see someone like that get chewed out. I just tried to, I mean, I obviously missed it, trying to hit that level to take some profit because that was a big time turnaround. Right at the absolute top. So double top here, you get the pre-market 1170, that was the first push. Same price, someone just got filled up at the absolute high and caused a small reversal there. So if it goes back up there, I will take some shares off on Fisker and then try to hold through the rest, guys. But that was a big buyer that just got filled.
And guess what, guys? Your boy's doing this again. Let's just give me that print right now. Give me that print at 20. There. Bang, there it is. A nice little dollar right there on DoorDash. Thank you to Brendan, guys, for the cowbell win right there on Dash. Man, we're on fire, guys. We're going to go 4. We are 4 for 4. $1 on Walmart, 80 cents on Macy's, $1 on Dash, 7 cents, 8 cents, which is not much, on Fisker. But right now, man, we are rocking and rolling. Thank you, Brendo, for the win on that one. Like bringing DoorDash to the front of my mind there. We take it out. We take 2/3 out there for about $1.25 win. We'll hold this back very, very lightly, guys. A 136.50. I'm not going to give this one too much room. That break is that break, and we capitalize on that one. Now we are one time daily goal. I can buy more than a $10 bottle of wine.
Ouch. I mean, look, wine is wine, man. If it's a good bottle, you enjoy it. I don't care what the price is. AT&T bounces just off of this 29. It goes down 28.89 is the low. It comes back above 29, so I'm going to take that out. I want to be active. It's done 55 million shares, so I'm going to be scalp trading this hopefully all day long. Next pop into those quarters or what was the previous low at 29.30. I'll take a shot off of that level, so I want to short quarters into 29.30. AT&T, let's just keep on the short train until it says otherwise. Brendo?
Another little one just popping up, HGSH, which is China HGS Real Estate Incorporated. Apparently they reported better than expected earnings here as well. So a little tiny real estate company, HGSH, up big time on earnings, guys.
Damn it! So right now we're celebrating big wins over here. We're going to go 4 for 4 today, but Fisker's way back in the money now. This AMC, I should have had that long on that break back through 14.20 there. That should have been a long. Missed that one. Too busy celebrating the $1.50 win on DoorDash for that one. But that was a good break right there. That 14.20 all the way up to 14.50. So that would have been scalped out there for 30 cents. Should have had that. We'll wait to see that happen again. If it wants to dip down again, then we'll wait for that to break. This may also be another break, but wait for this, 14.55. AMC's just been going nuts the last couple days, guys. So just be very, very careful. I do like the long better than the short, but that was a good opportunity right there that was missed. So you may now be into the shorts, 14.60, 14.70 on AMC. Fisker, man, just keeps on getting up to the 70 level. We've emptied out some of our pockets here. We're long at 50, but let's wait to see if we get to 70 one more time. Going to put an offer this time. I can't go YOLO like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in a second, I can show you guys that MITO, which is now flushing through that 150. So that entry worked perfectly, but I want to get the Coinbase here if I can. Made a bounce off of 237, just tracked back to that 240, 244, 245 pre-market high, and then hard reversal off of 245. Now I'm going to try to get in on the short side of this trade in front of that. It was a quick move, and I tried to chase it to 44s there, was missing it. Look for that 245 to be the new key. I don't mind long trades, and hopefully this is the bottom in Coinbase, but we're still negative. When you had that, I suppose a bit of a surprise they came out with that convertible note, guys. So I'm going to go with the short in front of 245 on Coinbase. Don't mind the reversal to the long side, but for now, it's still going to be a short for me.
Okay, guys, we're going to go 4 for 4 now as, Dash. Dash was just at 140 there. I think that might have been right there on Dash. It just ripped like crazy. Yeah, here it goes, 139.70. Okay, 140. I see you, 140. We're long at 137, guys. I'm just going to probably just take this one out on DoorDash. Yeah, 139.80 right there. Yeah, that is what that price is. I'm going to take this out. Can we get some 79 love here, guys? Let's see. We're offering some 79s. Oh, he does not fill us there. So we're waiting there at 139.79. Maybe we'll go to 130. Yeah, I don't like the way this offers kind of stacking up a little bit here. We'll see if we can get some out there. We just made that 125, that 39.25 level. We'll see if we can get that love back in DoorDash. We needed to take us out on the way back. There it is. Bang! Close the trade and you're gone, DoorDash. Bring it down. Money, money, money right there. Another $3. That's a $250 win right there. Nice trade on that. So now we are going to go 4 for 4 on all them names, guys. So let's just keep on watching. Obviously, I'm going to regret getting out of DoorDash, but that's fine. A win is a win. We put it on there, and we are 1 times, guys, with some chicken dinner winners. Have some chicken wings so far. We'll see if we can make it the whole damn bird soon.
Absolutely. Look, the whole damper. I mean, why not go for it? I mean, if you're hungry enough, I would say. On the other end of that AMC trade, just going to show you guys here. Whatever. I mean, GameStop sliding to the downside. It's not to say that the meme is over, but both these names coming back in. I talked about Coinbase a quick second ago. As we were going through, I bungled my stop order. If you make an accidental out, I just jump right back into shares, of course, getting a better price, but let's ignore that. Really, it's 243, half that we had originally. I've just got some shares out of that 242.50. So in reality, that's about $1 worth of a win. I did get shares at $1 higher, but that's because I got accidentally stopped out. It's the reversal off that 245 that interests me the most. I want to be a bull at some point on Coinbase, and maybe this is where it'll bounce off VWAP, and I want to take some shares off of this pop out in front of VWAP. And if we hold that 240 all morning long, I think we can make a bit of a bull case, at least in short-term momentum for that name. I said I would get to MITO. But when you have one of these that works for you, the failed break at 930 and the hard reversal in short, what is potentially the top, you can kind of just calm down, know that it's working in the money for you. And now if it pops again, I'm looking to short in the 160 to 165 range. 165 is where we got it on that top reversal. Anything in front of that, I think is going to be a good trade for us there, guys. So Coinbase, we'll do a little bit of this, because those are Bitcoins there. So every time we get a Coinbase win, that's the one that we should hit. At some point, we should have like an Ethereum or a Doge or like a Cardano for Sean, just to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, Cardano rocking 203 right now. Not the
holding up is the key word.
Not the greatest. Yeah, holding up. Yeah, it's good. Not just holding up Cardano, but Cardano. We've been talking about that since 15 cents, guys. It's at $2.30 right now. So $2.08 actually, Cardano. As we sip our coffee, thank you, Miss V, for that one. We're just waiting, man. I'm gonna be. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, don't tell me DoorDash keeps going, but it looks like it wants to go a little bit more. Here, Macy's.
Hold on to DoorDash, man. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm already out of DoorDash. Yeah, no, not right now, Randy. Thank you, my friend. 1850 there. We did put a bid down here at 1850 and missed that, Macy's. Might be time to reload. Give it to us, Bren.
It's Donut Day here at Trader TV. Welcome to Tuesday Donut Day. MGM, guys, we mentioned the possible chat that they're having with Amazon about MGM Studios. Nice move so far. Big volume coming in behind MGM as well.
I mean, finally, now this is annoying to me because I was trying to chase this up. Macy's broke that 20 already one time. It had that flush when they revised the numbers. Now we're coming back into this cluster. This is the chop zone. The pre-market breakdown was at 1930 into that 1960 range where it actually fell off the table, I guess should be the way to state it. Brendan gave that update. I mean, Sean gave it to you, and then Brendan gave you that specific update on the numbers. I'm going to short in that range between the 30 and that 60. If it breaks like 65, we can get out of it. You don't want to fight the tape too hard. We talked about the short interest of some of these retail names, and Macy's, I think, came in at about 12% or something along those lines. So Macy's does have a decent short interest. So if it does make a hard bottom like that and then break 1965, 1970, you want to be out of it if we can. I just showed you guys that coin. It just bounced off of like 242 even here. So I did try to get 41.50s on the rest of this short. I might have to accept that 42 is as far as it's going to go here. You're going to see me short at 244.40, but my price wasn't quite that good. Got an accidental stop out and had to get in some more shares.
All right, we're shorting Macy's up here, and honestly, I mean, I'm going to give Brendan credit, but why didn't you tell me to hold it, damn it? Yeah, DoorDash, nice move up to 142. We cashed out. That was a good trade for us. Like in 3 minutes, we made $4, so we'll hold it, and we'll take that trade, so that's a good one for us as well. AT&T still moving around. Donkey Kong not doing much here. Clover, someone said for me, I saw that. Yeah, okay, CCL, okay. We can look at that. Who told me to look at CCL? Someone did there, and they tagged me there. I don't know where it is. There it is. Oh, CCL's been on fire. That was Valeria. And there it is here. Scott H. What's up, Scott H? There, what's up? Thank you for telling us to look at CCL here. It's on a move, boy. CCL nicely upside 28.20 there on a daily chart. What does CCL look like? Ooh, nice. Above the 50-period moving average. That's what we like. It's tipping out at this 28.50 mark. That could be a good one there. I mean, I just shorted Macy's. Ooh, that's turning out to be pretty nice. Oops, I just typed in Citigroup, not CCL. There it is. Let's take a look on the 20 period. Okay, so we're way up here. And I guess that mask talk helping CCL here. So I'm going to do a little bit more work on that, but I will look at CCL. I like that move. Obviously, it's to the upside now. We do take Macy's there on the short. So let's just cash in again a little bit here at 42 if we can. There. Oh, no, we missed it. Did we get 42s there? No, we didn't. There it is. There's 42. So now we're short again. Macy's 48s. So let's see if it can hold. We like that 1980 level there. So we'll see if it can hold up to 1980. But right now we'll run Macy's back to the downside here. The bull turns into a bear. We go both ways, and here it comes. Let's see what Macy's wants to do. Now to the downside, man. That dash is going to haunt me forever. We are short Macy's, long Walmart. Now $1.22 in the money. It keeps bouncing off this 144.50. I just don't want to have the same fate in Walmart as we do in Dash because Dash now up huge. Let's hold on to our Walmart and see if it can go.
That's the same thing that happened on Friday in Dash, which kind of went on the corner of my mouth. I was like, oh my God, hold on to Dash because we got out of that $5 too early on Friday. And it feels like it's a similar story here today. I want to get someone who just mentioned look at Virgin Galactic, Neil. My first question is going to be, I just saw Nikola and I was like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't short that. But I look at Virgin Galactic, it's still not a lot of momentum coming back into it. I mean, I'd probably be shorting those levels if I thought it was more exciting, but I'm going to go with the gates of hell. And it's not that it was a bad decision on Coinbase's part. Like, if they need to raise the capital, okay, fine, fair enough. Diluting the share price, whatever. But this is a bit of an upward trend forming. So I reload in front of that 245. That is going to be that kill zone for me. I scalp it out again for about $1 to $1.50. At some point, it looks like this is going to break that 245. I will not take any more short here. Either it bounces down to VWAP here, or I'm probably reversing long on a 245 potential breakout on Coinbase. I'm not throwing away profits. I know with Coinbase, there's eventually going to be a bottom. I didn't think it would be this early in the morning. Potentially, but if it's a break, then that's going to be the break, and I have to take the profits on the short and reverse into that long at 45s. Brendan.
So the market just went red, but I'm still seeing a lot of very strong-looking charts like this one. We saw CCL on the run. Here's Love, Southwest, straight higher as well, 2% now on the move to the upside, but decent volume behind some of the airlines so far, moving higher, guys.
I can show you one more. Another one that's up. Peloton's up 3%, guys. So there's a lot of random names that are looking and pushing to the upside. Watch out, Peloton. If it comes back down to VWAP, might be good for a buy.
I can't believe we put down Coinbase long 239, and I mean we had too many big winners. There you keep hearing the reloaded, man. We just took some more out there on Macy's, man. 1950, we reloaded it up. We should have had some more bids down at the 30s, but we're not heavy in this trade. So good trade there on Macy's on the reload. I hope you guys took some of that. We're still waiting for 1980. It could break through, but that's why you take profits. Like, you know, watch this thing go. We'll see where it goes from here. And I'm thinking the same thing right now on Walmart. It just keeps bouncing here off 144.50. So I am actually going to put an order there if it gets taken down. But I do notice what Brendan's saying here. The market turns red there. So, well, not on the NASDAQ, but the ES, yeah. So I don't know. Is that going to affect, like, what if the market turns around? I don't want to be dumping Walmart here, maybe on Lowe's. So we'll wait to see here. Oh, Lowe's. Yeah, I like Lowe's. I mean, I got to buy some Lowe's too. We're going to wait to see if it can get going here, especially if the market does. We could have a decent shot at a nice win here on Walmart, especially if it takes out this 144.60 again. Then we fly in to at least 145.50, I think. What up, V?
Hey, Sean, Nikola is another positive name from the chat. Stock is up more than 6%, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on Fisker. To be honest with you, Miss V, I have not looked at Nikola yet. I know Neil's.
It's interesting. I was just looking at Nikola when I was hunting for some names that were to the upside. Look, here's the level. 1350 is already a bit of a breakout. You're going to get the 50-period break as well. And so as you get to that 14, which is breaking right now, so I can't tell you go 14 long. I wouldn't. I'd be looking back to that 1350 for any dip buy. I think you have to be patient with it. It's sort of the old story. Am I going to be looking for a short at the top at Nikola at some point? Yes. I don't think it's necessarily here at 14. The daily has a lot of pain to it. If it ever does make a push, I know it's a far away, that 1750, that's going to be the one for me. As I saw this, I want to go here just to update the position because I said I'd go long in Coinbase. So I'm kind of kicking myself over this when I said if 245 broke, I'm not going to get that short. I'm going to get that long on the break. This is a long, and this is me getting out. So that's actually not a short sell trade. This is me bungling a bit of a stop and then punching out, losing like 50 cents worth of spread, and Coinbase heads back to the upside. Now, do I want to chase it long 246 when I was long at 245? No, but it is what it is. Coinbase has made a bit of a bottom here. I'd love to see us hold above this 245. I think that'd be a fantastic sign for us. To go back to the EV name that we're actually in, I know we just talked about Nikola. Fisker holding right, and that 1165 area where we saw that massive buyer get filled has been a bit of a short-term resistance here. So I'm still hanging on to it. I have an offer in this range. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't take some out here at like 64s and go ahead and do that. Because it just continuously fails to get through that 1170, and that could be a breakout on its own. So I'm going to hang on to some. If we get a triple top and get a breakout long, I'll just add on the breakout instead. Brendan?
Sean was just asking about PaySafe. There's a couple of things actually to mention here. So they partnered up with this trip gift. This is yesterday, by the way. They partnered up with this trip gift on some combination of activity for them. But Appaloosa, so Appaloosa announced yesterday they sold their stake in Twitter to invest in PaySafe, guys. So that seems to be the only thing. As you can see, there's nothing above yesterday for news, guys.
Yeah, wait till PaySafe starts printing some cash, guys. You guys know that I've been talking PaySafe for a hell of a long time. We bought more shares on earnings, but I'm still loaded up on this name. So it was BFT. I'll have to see. I'm probably in the money now, but it's pretty close. Probably 11 and change as an average price on PSFE. So we've been loving that name. And then also, man, what else we're loving right now? Fisker. We're waiting at 68. It went to 67. So we have a 68 offer right there. Well, hopefully it comes back to the upside again. A random price chosen there. No idea why for Fisker, but we're going to continue to run it upside. Ooh, DoorDash continues to go. Fisker, 20 cents now in the money. Why am I waiting for 68 right now, guys? Let's just put it out now on Fisker and just get a piece out right here. We'll wait for some 68. Well, actually, I'll cancel my 68s. We just got some more Macy's, guys, short. So we're running that one now, 5-6 cents. Bang, bang, bang. We like it so much that we... Okay, I'm reloaded. All right, there's Fisker, and there's Fisker again, guys. Wow, what a day this has turned out to be. Fisker ripping now 40 cents into the money. Fisker, let's go, man. We're really enjoying ourselves here. Let's put it that way.
Obviously, no, we're going to watch out for me. If Macy's breaks 65, I mean, when I got into that one on the rebound here, I already said that was going to be my level. I'll take my out if it does. Fisker, if it breaks that high, which is about to, I'm looking to add on the break, so I might get more shares long. Berendo.
We saw DoorDash go first there, but Airbnb a little bit late to the party, possibly up 2.5% as well. Just went 135 to 137 on some volume, guys, for Airbnb.
All right, so we're into a new position here. Some stock, I've never really heard of it before. Palantir, I think it's called. I don't know, PLTR. Not really sure what this symbol is, but we are long this name now, Palantir, and we're going to watch it because it's at this level that we like. It's at 70. That was the high of the day, and of course, I kid about the name. $21 there. So there it is, just breaking the high. We talked about Palantir yesterday, why we liked it. If a NASDAQ wants to blow, then I like Palantir's chance of blowing up as well. So now we'll wait to see. We're long at 70.5 here on PLTR. So everything in the money beautifully for me. Well, let's just keep going, man. There's Fisker. Hello, Fisker. Nice move to 1180 now on the upside. I think we might have to dump even. Look, if there goes Palantir as well, man. Nice out there, 78. We probably get some more out now if we can. So we'll offer some 78s now. That's Palantir. Did we just get those? Yes, we did. So, wow. I mean, this is just moving today. Hopefully the Maple Leafs can have similar success as they face the Montreal Canadiens coming up on Thursday. I have no idea why some of these other games are going to be like at second and third games already by the time they go. But let's go,
it's
Palantir.
Anticipation. You're building the anticipation for a big rivalry trade there, guys. One more EV name making a move here. Watch it. Lordstown is up 7.5%. It's getting to that. It just broke 9 even. This was the top from yesterday's action at 896. So big breakout happening. If it gets back below that price, I think it's a bit of a flush. But Lordstown, big time move. A lot of EV names are sort of ramping up here. Fisker, I added on the break of 1170 there at the top, so I got more shares long.
Guys, you gotta, this is gonna be a perfect day right here so far with DoorDash giving up some of the profits too early there as Palantir ripping faces off right now. Let's go. I might just sit back, relax. This is some cognac right now. I told you the kind of mood that we're in on this kind of a day. This is a big one for us here. I don't know how far this goes. We've been emptying some out. Let's see if it goes now. We're not gonna hold this too far back to 2050 or so, but here goes Palantir. I may just start getting some out here. We do have a decent amount of shares. We did like that level. Our day's already frothy right here as we go. So big time trading happening. Uber going as well. Oil coming back to the downside. Hey, keep tanking oil. It's only good for tech. What's up, Brendan, at the big screen?
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's get a quick look at how we are doing so far. Yeah, tech stocks back in charge. They're trying anyways to get back in positive territory. 0.3 for the composite NASDAQ. That is the 100, just 0.17, but positive along with small caps. The Russell 0.15. You can see here in Toronto, we're dead flat for the TSX, the S&P and Dow, both slightly lower on the session so far. Let's have a look quickly at a couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market. Guys, Coinbase, did get an early flush there right at the open, but nothing but upside. We're kind of testing these tops from yesterday as we speak, but big volume still behind Coinbase, trying to get back higher so far today. Baidu got flush, to say the least, at the open, 197 to 187, a $10 move, but bouncing back to 192 for Baidu. Guys, back to you.
Well, I'm glad I don't have any executions in that one. I just got a little bit out here, and we'll go with riding the bull trend. I'll hit the right one here. Fisker, we had some shares left over from the buy the dip there, which we're going to cover at 1180s or in front of 1180s. Now, I have an offer in front of 12 even because it's a nice little round number for you there. And if we're going to break that quarter mark, 3-quarter mark, I should say, I want to have some profit out at 12. The other thing is you go back into, and you look at the April low, that's at like a 1220. So I looked at 12 even, I looked at 1220, 1225 area as the next two targets of this trade in Macy's on that little reload. You don't care about the daily chart there. Let's go to the minute. If it comes back into VWAP, I want to make sure, like last time, that we're getting profit on the way down. This is that entire target range, like 1930 up to 1960, which I was talking about. When it gets up in here, I want to play the range to the short side. I want to have some on board in case it breaks to the downside here, but you don't want to get caught in case this is a trap. It's like a flush out and then a bit of a squeeze through 65. So I'll be out if it breaks that level. Otherwise, I'm willing to short in front of that range top there on Macy's and hopefully hold through the bottom. I showed you guys, and again, I'm glad people had that Coinbase breakout. It is what it is. I mean, I bungled my long at 245. It does get to 48. I think now I'm kind of willing, especially with the market coming back in here. The fact that Coinbase is holding up pretty nicely. I mean, I look over at, spot's not holding up that well, but I mean, Coinbase, relatively speaking, doing solid. It couldn't break positive on the session. So 248, that is also yesterday's close. 25 cents lower than that. So I would expect a bit of a retracement. I want to be buying the dip in front of VWAP if I can on Coinbase. Once it held that flush out bottom, you know that 245 break meant I was going long, not for the rest of the day, but for my next trade at least.
Okay, we did take another trade here in Walmart. So it does come right back down to that level that we like, 142.50. We did talk about that one. So let's see where it goes now. We're long 142.69er right now on Walmart. So let's see, right into the money right away. Let's take a little piece out, I guess. I don't know. What is the market trying to do? This is the NASDAQ right here, the ES. I don't even have it up, actually, because I changed my other chart to NASDAQ. So we'll wait to see where it goes. But that's a long. We're going to hold it back to 142. We talked about that. So let's see if Walmart wants to go off that low. I don't know. We talked about it. We put it on our sticky note. We wrote down here. You guys can see it. It's clear as day on the note here. Where was it? Right at the top there. Back long, 142.50. The mistake really here on Walmart was already made by me. I talked about it over and over again, getting out at this 144.50, and I just didn't want to happen. I'm going to call this, I didn't want to get dashed because we got out a dash there at 139.30, then we let it run to 142.30. So we're trying to hold Walmart to see if it has a little bit more of a move into it back upside, but I'll still get some out. I'm offering 80s right now. We'll see if we can take out 15 cents off this bottom. Well, it would be 30 cents off the bottom, but we'll wait to see if it comes back to VWAP. I don't know. The market right now trying to fail again. So that's my call there. Oh, and remember when we said we were reloaded? Well, let's explode the money everywhere right now. As you guys can see, look at this Macy's trade. This is why. Okay, I'm reloaded. Like bang, bang, bang. You know, like we can go bullish and bearish here, guys. And we turned bearish on Macy's as soon as, and I want to thank the viewer in the chat who brought that to my attention, man. We just shorted, this was my very first trade of the day, actually. Short at 929, bang, bang, bang. We had the whole move down. I still have a bid down here. I guess I can cancel that. I don't know if that's going to come through, but there it is. We're pretty light on everything now. Let's just holding out hope for Walmart to try to hold that bottom. I don't know if it's going to, man. The market's coming down.
Yeah, well, this market coming back in here, I think that was probably what gave Macy's that little break. So we're outside of the range where I want to be shorting it. The top end was going to be that 40 to 50 in front of 65. If it comes back up, I don't mind. Rinse and repeat. If 65 breaks, we'll be out. Now you're starting to think about, can 19 even go? And if that goes, I want to have a small piece on board. When you get a flush out bottom like that, I tend to think that potentially you have made a bit of a temporary low, I should say. I took Walmart only one time off of the open. I just got it again off of the same level, right? So that's 142. I got 142.35. We got that long. I took it off entirely too early the first time through, thinking we're going to get a consolidation. It just ran. Can't ignore. Market coming down. You can call it a triple top. It's close enough to it at that 144.75 pre-market and 144.50 here that I'm not letting it break 142. So it's a relatively tight stop. The way the market is coming back in here, there's no way I'm throwing away profit. Outside of AMC, we had short at the bottom there, and that didn't work out. Everything's been pretty good so far, and I've been ignoring AT&T. I need to rectify that problem because the market's coming down. I feel like that's a short that I should have stuck with maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, if you're going to short anything today, it probably would be
maybe
AT&T. We're just relaxing here, although we do have Walmart on, which is going to be, we're going to turn Walmart from a winner into a loser, which absolutely sucks. But again, with the kind of day we're having, that's why we're just stone cold chilling right now. Shout out to Steve Austin there. 316. We'll wait to see 42.13. That's that bottom on Walmart, not averaging in. People ask me all the time, when's a good time to average in? Not now on Walmart. Although, if you're going to defend 142, you know what? Let's take it. There you go. So we'll just buy it again on Walmart right there. We just bought with 27s. We're going to hold this back. I can take a 27-cent hit. We'll average it in and see if it goes back to the upside. Be a monster winner if it does do that. So let's wait to see. Fisker already, man. We've already destroyed this stock today. So good trading on Fisker. There's no doubt about that. Palantir back now up to 70. Our best out to 85s now. So it's just dancing. So we'll just have to wait on Palantir to see what this dance means for it. I thought, we had 85s there. It's been a big run. We need the NASDAQ to go. We've talked about that. If that does happen, then Palantir should give us that move back to 85. So we're out of more than half of our Palantir. Actually, we're out of like 70% of our Palantir. That was a good out here in the 80s. So these top 280 prints were actually decent shares. So let's wait to see if we can get that opportunity again. Walmart's crashing down a little bit too fast here for me, so I might change my stop.
I'm going to keep mine for the time being on Walmart at that 142 even. Now, this is me. The one trade that didn't work out for us is going to be AMC. breaking move through fresh lows at like 936, maybe a bit early for that. I did keep in a tight stop to what was the previous bottom here at the open at 1420, but it goes all the way into 1450. Now you're getting that flush through. So there's the misstep. In AMC, it's trickier. It's a lot easier. Well, I find it a lot easier to short pops in a stock like this, I should say. So these same price levels when they were highs, that 14 to 1425 area, success for multiple days, but taking it on the lows, that's going to be my misstep on the session. Fisker, while the market rolls over, I can tell you this much, tries to pull back in here, doesn't get to VWAP, so there's no reloading at 1150. But now that it's retesting this top at 1185, if it pulls back again, I'm going to cover that breakout trade. I mean, I got a little bit out there, but those were those longs at the low 11s. I'm going to cover this if it breaks 1160. If it can't now make the push to $12 with the market rolling over, I'm not going to fight it too far. It's already been a pretty solid one on Fisker. If this starts to reverse and can't make some fresh highs or at least test that 12 and get some more shares out, there's going to be no dip buy, and it's going to be a tightening of the stop for me. Look, it's in the money. I think we both made money on Fisker, but given the way the market was pulling back in, you want to make sure you bank some of that profit, or bank more of that profit, I should say.
Yeah, well, for sure. We made a lot of money on Fisker, so I agree with you, man. We got to bank something here for sure. So we're already out, man. Fisker's now 1180, and if you're going to have a call, guys, like we're loving some of these names today. I talked about it being a big day. It was going to be a big day, so we shouted that out early and often on our Twitter, and that's exactly what the hell is going on right now. Look at Walmart. Here we go, guys. We took that long. Let's get out. We need to... Bang! We're huge right now, guys. This is a monster day. It just keeps on rocking and rolling. We buy that Walmart bottom. It just rips to the top here. We are just loving trading today. We've talked about that over and over again. We knew this was going to be a big day. Palantir ripping as well. We just got some more out 85s. I mean, I wish this was ripping a little bit more than we are here on Palantir, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes. We'll take the 15 cents on PLTR, but everything just rocking and rolling, man. Walmart now 30, 40, 50 cents in the money. We did take that out there at 91s, and let's just wait to see how high. If it gets back up to 144 and change, your boy is gone.
Yeah, I mean, this proves to be the level here, that 142. I think the stop is correctly placed on it. I said maybe I should be back over to AT&T. That breakdown was basically, look, I mean, there was the trade-off at 30, which we talked about, but it never gave you 30s. It gave you 29.92 at the open. Then there was a break at the low of the day. That's been it for AT&T. It's basically sitting in a 10 to 15 cent range. The volume's good, so I guess the algos are probably the only ones that are happy with the way that is moving around, I suppose. Here comes Macy's, so we did get close to the bottom of that move in front of 19. It's right back into that range where it's testing that 1965. So I said in between 30s and 60s, that's where I want to be shorting. It comes right back into that top. I'll try to add to this one at that 50 mark. If I can, there you go. Like I actually got 52s there. So if it breaks 65, I'll be out just like we said. If it comes down to VWAP, I'll take some more profit within this tight range that it's been able to hold here. Brendo.
Just checking on Party City as far as earnings, but another one that's been benefiting from the reopen idea, guys. PRTY has had quite a couple of weeks here, back to $10 once again, actually broke and held above $10, but lots of volume today on PRTY.
All right, new from 1P to another, pay safe. Right now, taking out that high of the day, up 11%, man. We are just like right now, just reining this in. The account blowing up, the account on the trading show right here blowing up. So all is well, and let's just wait to see how high this goes. I just noticed though, it's not a huge position, but I just noticed there was some size here at 25. So sometimes that'll be a little bit discouraging to hold against that size. But again, pay safe with a nice move up. I'm just wondering now that I look at this, like when I liked the level, there was no doubt I liked it and I took the trade. But I'm just noticing like that 11%, that 10%, 11 when I took the trade, maybe a little much here for PaySafe. This was just $10 back on the 13th. So you're talking about 5 days ago was just $10. PSFE now up that 25, well, almost 25% here upside. So we'll wait to see where this goes. 1250 would of course be 25% from that low of just a couple days ago. So this may be a little high for it, but we're long. We like the name. I like the space. We like Square. PayPal was my call of 2020. It was 100 $608 when we made that call, and you see where PayPal is right now. So let's see if if Square, PaySafe, PayPal, the fintech space just keeps on getting good and bigger and better, I should say. There it goes. Okay, let's go. Run this PaySafe. They just hit that guy like it wasn't even there. PaySafe to the upside right now. Let's see if it gets that 1250 mark that we're looking for. Take a little bit out right now. Where's my offer? We just took some out. So there it is right there. A nice little 10-cent win on PaySafe. And now we'll hold this for the upside. Everything turning out pretty nicely here, guys, today.
Absolutely. And just I want to go back to the ride if I can here. Walmart broke 142s. I'll take it out there. I want to make sure I bank profits that we had earlier on in the session, but you had that low. It couldn't even get past that 143 or there was consolidation. So it's going to stop me at that 142. I'm going to walk away from that trade for a second time through and see if we can't move on to the next. Now, I talked about Ride, Lordstown, very, very briefly when it was making a move up. When it was making that move up, Nikola also pressing. There was no break back below that 895, so it did retrace in 895 where I would have been turned bear, just held. So you're still in a very, very strong upward trend over here in Lordstown. I'm looking towards like 950 as the next price, and then I'll look about that short trade. Fisker's back in the money, but it still has not tested in that 1190 range, and to give me that out in front of 12 even, well, I'm definitely taking more profit. Brendan?
Wish, guys, we were talking about Wish last week off of earnings, had a big move to the downside from 12, in fact, all the way to 8. Did get flushed again this morning down to 8.5, but we're back above 9 right now, trying to hold Wish up 2.5%.
Yeah. I'm not going to just automatically say we want to short that name, but it's pretty close to that, I would definitely say. Look, if this thing starts rounding off of a high like this and gives you like a nice little tight stop short, it's hard not to do it. Now, it would be much, much better. You're going to look at this and say it's pretty obvious. Yeah, it is. If you were looking at 940 into like 980 or so, I'll be all over Wish if it gets to that price. It's a little bit random to just sort of take the roll over here. If it shows any more strength, I'll probably be looking at that name to be sure. I want to come back over to, I'm not neglecting the stock. It's just not, oops, that's a 15. That looks way better on a 15. It's just that there hasn't been too much of a move back to the upside on that MITO, so we're still holding on to the shares at 65. It never came back in to give you that good price between 60 and 65. Now it's looking at, just sort of shorting VWAP on pops, and if it continues to make lows, this closed at $1.19. I think that's your ultimate target. Throw some shares in front of like a 125. But if it pops in, it gives you like 150 to 155. Feels like that's now safe to do. Getting some of those prices from the right at the open. Probably a done deal, at least in the short term, on MITO.
All right, so I actually feel quite lucky that we switched over our stop limit there because Walmart, we would have got out there, and now it's back into the money 40 cents. So I'm considering this one as sort of a gift. Let's get a little bit out here if I can on this pop on Walmart. It may turn around here. The NASDAQ starting to go upside. So if we could just get out one more piece of our Walmart here, just to make sure that we hold some profits back on this name, that should be a good one. But it did dip down there, and we did get lucky for that. I am done with Macy's. I'm not going to be back in this short. I'm basically out of it. I hold 5% of the total position right now in Macy's. So I don't want the short here. It's made its way back up. We've already destroyed the short. So we've been wearing our shorts today on this name. So we're done. I'm going to give it some room now, Macy's, just to see. I still like that 980. Like if you're short, I think you can go short into that 980, but we're already short here 56. So we're flat on this trade, and we're going to let it just continue to ride. I told you Fisker today, guys. And again, like I don't have a problem telling you, when we're going to take some shares, when we're going to start hammering some stock. And I mean, there it is right there on that Fisker. So Walmart, yes, sir. Nicely. Now we're starting to rip again. Fisker, I told you guys that we were taking shares on this name. We did get a little too anxious there off the open. We like that 1165 break. Now you know why. It goes all the way to 1195, but that just gives me an opportunity to load up back down here. So right now you're seeing a great Fisker trade, 70 cents in the money, and we're waiting for that one to develop even more. But I think we just got out at 82, so I think 12 is probably good enough for that. And then there's Palantir, the stock that just keeps on giving for me. We're long at 1850. We talked about that on the show again. Look at this. We are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 8 right now. Walmart, here we go again, guys. Nice move. Let's see if we get back upside right now on Walmart as the market's ripping here. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day. What up, Miss V? There you go. Superman is back in the building.
And I still actually do have some of that Macy's on there, guys. So it does roll over a little bit. I mean, bid is sitting here at 36. it's weird. Like an Amex order, formerly Amex order at 40s there, was holding on to it. If it goes down to VWAP, you saw me do it one time before. I'll do the same thing where we're getting out between 25 and then that 35 mark. So we're going to take some shares off there, look for the bottom break, and then get some more shares out in front of 19 even. Rinse and repeat that plan of action, and then when 1965 goes, we'll be out of it. Fisker, I just took some more. Like I've been saying this entire time here, guys, that if it finally made the push into that to try to test 12. Take some profit in the 90s. That's exactly what's finally happened with Fisker. At the end of the day, a slow grind up sometimes is the better long trade. You've seen that time and time again with specifically Palantir. Like I actually say, when something's going up linearly, I'm not looking for that same short reversal. There hasn't been that quick parabolic move that would scare me that it's going to snap back just yet. But that could be potentially coming, maybe on a 12 break. So I have an offer on the north side of 12 even to cover. Obviously short of that 12.20 that we talked about on the higher time frame. So we'll go ahead and bank some more of that profit. And then there comes that fill-in in Macy's. So it continues to be a good short within that range that we're able to identify on the way back in. At some point, it breaks it. So if you're rinsing and repeating like this, it's going to break that top end at some point, or it's going to make a flush to the bottom. I'm always prepared for the worst possible thing that could happen to you. Sometimes that is going to be missing out on something like a long trade like that Coinbase. I think some of the strength has been at least a little bit flushed out of it here when it tried to turn positive on the day at 248. So I'm gonna go ahead and after it sort of stalled out here, not think about maybe that VWAP buy, go back into like a 240, allow this to give a little bit more room before I jump into that Coinbase. All the money I made was on shorts. And then, of course, I had 245, but you mess up a stop order, you get out. I paid the spread and couldn't get back in. Didn't want to chase $1. No way I'm going to do that. AT&T continues to show, signs of strength. It was that 29.30 that was the bottom break, the only trade we've had. Now it's recovering above that price and holding VWAP. This is more a matter of it's so far down. It's not about constantly chasing the longs. I came in thinking I only wanted to go short today. It gave you 30s. It then gave you the 29.30 break. It's now trying to hold VWAP. If it presses to 29.50, let's say, and then gives you a pullback, I'll probably be thinking about a long trade on AT&T. I'm not completely convinced yet. I want to stick to Macy's and Fisker's, and the MITO has been a cakewalk.
Okay, not to contradict you, but we long AT&T, guys. Let's go. We already long AT&T right now. This is that level that we wanted. We talked about that earlier, breaking through VWAP. Should have had it a little bit earlier than that, but here's these bottoms, 36s. So that's right where we're long, and we'll just put another feather in our cap. If it goes up, let's see if it keeps going. 29.50 would be nice, like Neil said. But right now, man, this is just a smoke show going on. I don't even know what stocks to talk to you guys about here. Fisker, 58 cents in the money. Macy's, 21 cents in the money. Still pay safe. We've not really moving, but we've been cashing out on that one. AT&T now with the long, 3 cents in the money. Walmart, 33 cents in the money as well. Everything rocking and rolling. We actually took some ETHE right here on this long. That's rocking and rolling. You see how much that's in the money right now. So Palantir, we just took out some 90s. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 8 today, guys. It's been a big day, and it's only 10:20. Let's go over to Be Real.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's have a quick look and review on a couple we were looking at in the pre-market. This MITO. Not much in the gas tank as far as movement for some of these lately. If you remember, we were talking about 170, 180. This area did give you an opportunity, did touch that, or 170, I guess, not 180, but did touch that. Right off the bat, we're down to 140. Not a huge trade, but pretty uneventful as far as MITO is concerned. This one, ULBI, there was 1180 and 12 were these levels, the highs from yesterday. I was off doing other things, but gave you a really nice opportunity to get involved short. In front of that, we're at $10 right now for ULBI, so big mover. Back to the downside, this AGEN. I tried this the break of 4 to the downside. I still have some of this, got out of half, still waiting, but 440 and then 460. Really like 460. Big level for AGEN. Guys, back over to you.
Rinse and repeat, and then the money comes into you guys. And look, it's not to beat up on Macy's, but after that multi-day run to the upside, I was only basically looking for shorts below that 20 range. Now inside here, we've taken it, the first time it popped back in since the open, off that 65 area where it flushed on the revision just before 9:30. We've again gotten shares off in front of VWAP. Now last time it checked through, bounced off a 19. If it cannot go that far in, then you're getting another higher low. That means no average in at this point. It means still getting out at 1965. I'm going to get out of the trade no matter what. But you take that profit, so the last time through, you lose a little bit less. Anticipate the fact that it could be forming into a bit of a breakout. And there is always a squeeze potential because of the minor short interest that you get in something like a Macy's, especially when it had that flush out bottom that we've been talking about all morning long. I was looking at that AGEN just a second ago as well, Brendan, and I haven't gotten into it yet. But I'm actually looking at not necessarily that 4, but I look at this 4.15. I should say 4.16 because you made the Austin reference. I'll go with that one. No. If 4.16 actually is this higher low that it put in here since 10 o'clock. If it breaks this, I think you kind of have a natural stop to the current high, which is like a 4.40, 4.41, excluding pre-market levels. But I'm not getting into that short breakdown if it takes out the top. If it takes out the top, I'm looking for it to test higher, and that's the only way I'd play it.
Oh man. We'll just fire some hot dogs off here. Palantir goes to $21, guys. AT&T, we just cashed. I mean, look at this cash on AT&T, guys. Rate upside again, up to 48. We just got out there off that long 36 that we called forever ago. So there it is, a nice little long here on AT&T, out cashed, out of half right now. We may just get out of this as opposed to this 29.50 level, waiting to see what happens. But there's AT&T, just another one added to the feather here in said cap. Fisker, we talked about this being our YOLO trade, and YOLO it is. Money. Okay, Neil and I both, I think both,
still a little
Walmart
bit
right now? 140, 142.80. Wondering if that's going to be the top. I don't want to make the same mistake again. I've already guessed on Walmart up here and was wrong. I thought we had a chance to go. It came back down, and all we wound up doing was just make more money when this did come down. So some stuff falling down a little bit here, but I'm going to put an order at 80 just to get out, because maybe even a little bit earlier than that to get out of Walmart. If it does come back up, let's put this in our pocket, man. We're long at 27 here on WMT, so we have ability to get out. We probably should do that. Here we go. There it is. So there's the out again on that one. So we'll do another just simple backflip there. Don't need to do too many graphics. Walmart out again, just putting more feathers in the cap. And then we'll watch AT&T just fade it off 50. So I'm debating just getting out of this one. AT&T normally does, there it is. We're out 43s there. So that's another one there. What's up to Hydration Nation, guys? Make sure you stay hydrated. We've already taken the vitamin. We'll have to look at some Costco stock soon, guys. But stay hydrated. Let's go. Big time day today. We knew this would be a big day today, so really happy that we capitalized on it.
And here comes 950 on Lordstown. We said this would be the possible turnaround that we look for. We've broken through. Now, I like failed breaks. A failed break means if it goes through 950, it's got to stall out at least 60, 65, no further than that. I don't want a retracement through that 950 level. So it's in the midst of breaking. Anyone that took a 950 long, you got like 2s, 3s, or 4s, maybe 5, 6 at the absolute worst price. And if this snaps back down, it's starting to slow down in terms of, forget about that, it didn't just spike down, it's a dark pool print. So it's starting to slow down in terms of momentum. I mean, the tape is really drying up a little bit here. So that's what I kind of look for. Could it press higher? Absolutely, but I want to catch it on the way down, not on the way up. If it retakes this 950, I'm going to look for a short here in Lordstown. It'll be the first time I put one on. I was considering, of course, doing it in Nikola, but Lordstown just looked a little bit better. I think I mentioned, or maybe one of us mentioned, if Fisker has broken through 12 even. You have an offer up here in front of 1220, just to quickly show you guys. Actually, it's easier on the daily chart here, guys. Now, this previous low, when you go back into mid-April, that was a 1220 level. That's the reason why I'm going to get out of Fisker in front of this 1220, thinking that bottom could turn into a bit of a chop zone, or at least a resistance or temporary resistance. So it's slowed down. It hasn't stopped yet. We can hopefully take a nice little winner on the last of our Fisker shares here and then look for a reentry at some point.
Yeah, thanks to someone that mentioned about this Palantir trade. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one too. All it did was really just take out yesterday's, the pre-market high there. And the thing about Palantir is this is the thing about the trade. You have to do a little bit of research, and you have to watch your stock and understand what's happening to it. And we talked about that yesterday when we looked at the NASDAQ and how it was running and how we saw that Palantir ran. I wasn't here on Friday, but we saw the action that Palantir had on Friday as well. So now this is a 30-cent win for Palantir. And oh yeah, by the way, remember when we said this was going to be the one? So we're slaying, oops, this is Brendan. Where's Brendan? Oh, that didn't work. Okay, good. So we're slaying the Fisker Dragon today. Hit the Brendan one by accident, but that didn't work. Up to 12.15 there. We talked about this being sort of our YOLO trade, and there it goes. We're holding one last piece here, upside on FSR. So a big trade there. check back in. Okay, good. It looks like we made the right decision there on Walmart. Be Real, what up?
Another one on the earnings side of things, just going through some of the earnings names from today, guys. Kingsoft Cloud Holdings, little tiny Chinese software maker. This is KC. You can see Kingsoft Cloud up nicely now, just came up to 38. Having a little bit of a problem here at 38, but decent levels on the daily chart for Kingsoft, guys. Beat as far as earnings are concerned.
So this was interesting to say the least, but I mean, right at that 950, I'm like, if it can break down on Lordstown, we're going to take the short. The opposite happened. Massive volume spike right into 10. There was a monster bid at 10, multiple orders of over 250,000 shares on the bid. Looked like it was possibly going to halt upside based on that bid. I mean, it looked like a halt stage, but then it ticked up. So it wasn't actually in a potential halt. It broke 10, got to 10.13. That's the parabolic move. You know, I like to get that reversal off of. I chased it from 10 all the way down to 86.5, which I ended up getting here. So it's that classic, look, it wasn't 950. It ended up being 10 even on, which was just a ridiculous bid. So give it to the high of the day, give the retracement back into that 950 where we were stalling out before. So it's always good to have a kind of setup that you like so that when it does materialize, you know what you're looking for and you know what you're going to do. I was as shocked as everyone else. I saw people saying in the chat, ride is halted. I'm like, it looked like it was going into a halt stage with that bid piled up, and then all of a sudden the offer got filled. I'm like, oh, I guess we're not in a halt. I mean, it seemed like it should have been one, but you know, sometimes those rules don't make any sense to me either, guys. If it breaks the high, I'll be out and we'll be 0 for 1 on ride, but that's a setup I almost have to take, and I'm looking for 950s as the target for the bulk of my shares. If it gets to VWAP, I'll hang on to a little bit, so call that like 925, 935.
Yeah, I'm still watching. I may just get out. I mean, this Macy's here at 9:30. We probably, I mean, we've already cashed in a lot. It's my #1 stock today, Macy's, because of that big move there. So just looking, it's bounced off VWAP a couple times. The VWAP is actually 25. That bottom there is 34. So I think we'll put a bid like, you know, let's put a bid at 37 right now on Macy's and just see if we can get out. It's basically just bouncing around. This is just a 1-minute chart. This thing can come back down and hit us. No problemo. There would be nice if Macy's comes back down and gives us this bid. Just a little bit nervous on it. There it is. Ooh, did we get hit? No, we did not. 37, you guys saw that. I went to 38. So let's wait to see. Here it comes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Then we're out. So there's another one for us on Macy's. So Backflip Nation right there. We were reloaded, but now we are gone. We are no longer reloaded. We are now flat. So I think we probably have a flat button somewhere, but we like this so much, guys. This is why Macy's is the #1 trade. I think one of my better trades, obviously DoorDash, Fisker long at $1 in the money right now on FSR. DoorDash was a great trade off that break there. We saw the action again. We've seen what it did last week. There's a big move for for DoorDash. We had that. PaySafe, I don't know, took a little bit out there at 15 and we're long at 23. Already took our high out at 33, so, or 32, whatever that price is, 32, 33. Letting PaySafe run now as we have 40% left on that stock. That's going to be a winner as well. And then Palantir, guys. Look what Palantir's doing. Again, this is another big one that we've talked about. Palantir up to 21.11 right now and still rocking and rolling. You got to rock the baby when the cradle's around. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, nice sector move for EVs today. I wanted to show you real quick. Go EV. This is Canoe, that little Canoe company just popping back above 720. There's some volume coming back in. Still down on the day, yeah, but trying to find a base. They teamed up with the University of Wisconsin-Madison to partner for some electric vehicle work with Canoe. So heads up there. It's 10:30. Let's get a quick check on European markets. Miss V's been watching what's going on over in Europe. What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European markets gave up earlier gains and now mostly negative. Vodafone trading in London is down more than 8% as it's missed expectations and reported 1.2% drop in full-year adjusted earnings. Back to you.
It's funny you say that. I just saw the U.S. listed VOD popping up on volume, guys.
So we left our stop order in and we forgot that we got out of Walmart there. So there was our stop order triggering down to the downside. So when you're going to see me short Walmart here, we don't mean to be short. So we get out right away and we give back some of the profits. But that just goes to show you, you got to watch your stop orders out here. So I'm going to get out a little bit more right now because, again, I haven't looked at it enough to say like that I love the short. Oh, man, should have held it. That short looks actually pretty good right now. But here comes Walmart back to the downside. So that was a mistake. We don't mean to go short. But if you ever see some purple action there, that does mean that we are short. So we're going to get out now at Walmart if we can on that move back to the downside. Did not mean to get short there, but just talking about it, I'm going to clean up some of my orders here on the downside just in case. Like, again, when you get out, most of the time we're managing our positions with these stop orders, and if you forget them, this is what happens. So I was like, oh my God, I got short Walmart there, but let's just cover it. It's okay. I'm going to do some work to make sure I'm all cleaned up.
So, I mean, you just reminded me, I just cleaned up a bunch, and one of them, you got to redo the math. We have a couple of different types of stop orders, and at some point we'll maybe explain them to you, the differences. But as I was getting out of Macy's, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, my stop is for more shares, so I have to adjust that one down. So it bounced off you up once. I said if it does not break through and give you some shares at 19, I would not reload. Had I done so, there still would have been some profit to be had in this trade, but it's starting to run a little bit thin here. And we're getting to that time of day where you expect things to get range bound and potentially make those breaks in the other direction. This Lordstown, I mean, Lord, that was, like, it's still one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I was completely convinced, like everybody else, it was about to go into a halt stage. It did not happen. We got a decent price. It's not perfect. It probably should be something closer to like $9.95, but getting a fill down here, all you could get was about that 80s on the way down, realistically. It's bounced off 970 a couple of times. I got bids in front of 50, and I got a bid in front of 940, right in front of that view up. And there was that push through like a 935 break that took you to that 950 level that we originally liked. It's sliding back down. Like I said, some of the momentum looks like it's slowing down, but the volume is still pretty decent, and that was a redonkulous spike. So on the back of my mind here, if I get this first fill in that like 69, 70-ish range, and then we bounce off a 950, I'm going to tighten the stop up in the event that that happens. It hasn't yet, obviously, so just monitoring that position very, very closely. Coinbase, usually not a stock to barcode like this, as you say, and I love that term, but this is getting a little bit tight here on Coinbase, a little bit too tight. I mean, the range is starting to pull in like 30, 40, 50 cents at best. I still think it's a decent shot to break down, and I'm not going to go with view up. Like I said, I'm going to wait for like a 240, but the chances of it making that big of a move are starting to get pretty thin here, guys. And like I said, having out on this ride, after that kind of a flush, if this is going to break the high, now I'm giving it the high of the day here, if this is going to break the high, and in case I miss it, I want my hands on the keyboard, my stop will hit it, don't worry about it. If this is going to break the high, that's a ridiculously strong move. I can't remember the last time I saw, actually no, I don't think I've ever seen a situation like that before, where that type of what looked like a halt and a spike upside does not yield a bigger move back in. I know top to bottom it was good, but there was no liquidity till about 990, and that's only about 20 cents that it really gave back after being up $1.70 on the session. $1.60 on the session here. So very, very strong in Lordstown across the entire EV space going into that announcement later on.
Fisker, Palantir, Palantir is still rocking. I mean, we just tweeted that out, guys, and you gotta, when you see some strength in a name, we talked about that the last couple of days. It's too bad I wasn't here on Friday, but Palantir, like, just monster moves, and that's why we take this long. It was my largest position of the day. So, when you do take shares like that, you have to believe in it. So there it is right there. That is Palantir. Good trade. Yeah, we're still waiting for Coinbase to come back down to some of these levels. This node has been pretty good today. Home Depot. That's a name we could look at there. I just saw it on the list. We were talking about shorting 326. Yeah, so that short would have been good, but I can't have them all. There's a short 326 break right there, downside. It did come back into us for about 921, but we missed all of this. That was something that we could have had right here, 324.50. Actually, Brendan noted to us that Home Depot was going here, and I should have stepped over to it and shorted it ahead of that 326 level, but we didn't. Right down to 318, 319 right now. So that's been a good one. We talked about the mistake on Walmart, so we'll watch that. We've been going long on Walmart the whole day. Palantir, Fisker, Macy's right now. Check back in. Look at that last out there on Macy's. We talked about why we wanted that all in here, the 30s. Good out now, and I don't like the short again, but I mean, I think for opportunity, I think it's there. Wow, Palantir just not stopping here, Brendo.
Another one not stopping right now. Just checking on this VIP shop, VIPS, Chinese online retailer, just popping up on volume here. You can see buyers coming in, guys. We're up 2% so far. Earnings tomorrow for VIPS.
Yeah, that was another name caught up in that, I guess, a hedge fund mess there. I'm going to go to Tesla very quickly here. It's not 560, it's 563, and that's probably the reason you don't get an actual defense out of, I don't think, either of us today. Off of the open, there was a lot of better fish to fry. Well, at the time, it seemed like better fish to fry, but Tesla back. 588 we're sitting at. If it gets to 600, that sort of seems obvious. But it's going to have to be a test for me at that 600 level. You do also look at a couple of sessions ago, you go back into Friday, 593. That's $5 from here for a potential rollover. The market is not, like, we're actually flat on the ES, by the way, guys. I know about 0.5% over on the NASDAQ, so it's not overwhelming strength. We're showing you the names that are moving here today, and a lot of them are in that EV space, getting a nice little bounce here. And watch out, Coinbase is making that run, so 248 break is in the cards, about $1 away from that.
Yeah, Coinbase, yeah, good. Again, we had that 239 long written down and did not take it. So wow, I don't know where to get out of this Palantir. We have a small piece left, but we do at least have a piece left on that one. So we're gonna wait to see where Palantir wants to go. NEO, we talked about this again. Some of the Chinese names battling back. We looked at Alibaba. We looked at Baidu. There's that bottom again, 3050. We noted that in this flush a long time ago, that we made that bottom of $32, right? We've made a new bottom of $30.50 on NIO. Still needs a little bit of work to go here. Let's check on a daily chart. It's looking nice though on the minute chart, that's for sure. 34.50, yeah, big move. Take out the day's high, pre-market high of 34.13. Now looking, where's the NASDAQ is high right now. NEO, let's check Tesla, because did Tesla go down to that 550 that I said?
563 low.
Okay, so 560, yeah, 563 low, yeah, exactly. So not near 550, but again, Tesla needs to be bought up. I think on any dip down, we'd like that 550 level. So looking at Tesla around 550, probably something to be bought. AMC, like, I don't know. I mean, it's moving. It's doing a lot of volume. That's for sure. I don't know if we'll get to the 200 million mark. 75 million. It does dip. I mean, look at this level again, guys. That bottom from yesterday, 1360, holds. So I think you can go long anywhere down in here, 1360, 1350-ish on AMC. So watch out for the potential there. And then an upside short spot here, I guess just 1450 on AMC. I don't really see too much. I don't know if we get back to 15 today. We'll wait to see. But for right now, man, Fisker, dollar now, officially dollar in the money. This was the YOLO trade that we wanted. So raining down money continues to be the case here today on Trader TV Live.
You better believe it. And look, obviously, the reference price on Coinbase is 250. And I should have said it then. We said it earlier. Any breaks, you've got to take scalp trades into that 250. That's going to be a break on its own here. Oh, wait a minute. No, let's see if I can. I'll get out of some of that. I just got a long at 249.99 on that break, and anytime that happens to me means the level hadn't actually broken yet, so I immediately get out of some of that position. And of course, I mean, 250 does break. So I am back into Coinbase, but for a quick second there, my stop was a little bit too fast, and it got filled on the south side of that 250. So we got the long 248, we got the scalp trade into 250. I just got 49.99 long. Kind of always a weird entry point when you get that. I do get out of some of it almost immediately because it was too early. If this can push to like a 255, I'll be pretty happy, but I kind of want to be, at this time of day, it's 10:40, right? So I kind of want to be taking those smaller wins if I can, see if it can't continue this push. If this holds 250 all day long, I mean, that would be the absolute ideal situation here. I think that seems rather unlikely off that 237 bottom, but hey, stranger things have happened. I'll put an offer out in the 254 range, see if it can't get there, maybe give this back like $1 or so on the last of these shares. I did have the flat half though. And Brendan is already ready for Sector Watch. It is 10:40, guys. Let's go to the mixed board.
Yeah, very specific things propping up this market right now. I'll show you a few of them right now. We are, dead flat. 0.01% right now for the S&P. Information technology as a group higher, but ever so slightly at the moment, mainly because of the semiconductors, some of the software names as well in positive territory. Want to direct your attention over here, though. Here's Viacom, 3.3% to the upside. This is the communication services group. Twitter right beside it on that Cathie Wood note. Sold some Apple, picked up more Twitter. 3.3% for Twitter on the day. Fox is here, ATVI, that Chatter down 2%. Discovery, though, DISCA and K, both down about 2% so far today. I did see, AT&T obviously is here as well, 5% in negative territory, but Verizon was the other one I was going to mention. Down about 2% on the day. On this side of the board, we mentioned a few of these already, but the travel names bouncing back nicely so far today after a couple of days to the downside. Here's MGM on that Amazon rumor, 4.8% in positive territory. CCL, 3%. NCLH being dragged along with it, RCL too. Some of the other hotels here as well. To the downside, industrial stocks are weak outside of the airlines. I told you about a couple of the airlines in positive territory. Over here, energy stocks also weak. Financials, the entire financial group in negative territory, and consumer staples outside of, Walmart, 2% to the upside. As I mentioned, guys, dead flat, 0.03 for the S&P right now. Back to you.
All right, we just chest pumping ourselves for Palantir. I have no idea where the stop is, but I guess we're just going to keep watching this rip to the upside here on Palantir as we get a little casual right now, watching some of these names go for us. So Palantir, a good one, man. Fisker, $1 in the money, and we're looking for some more names. I mean, I'd like to get into GameStop or AMC. Peloton, we talked about why that was strong and why you need to be a shareholder probably on Peloton as well. Again, mob mentality here. People love it. This is just such a strong name. Talk about a buying opportunity on that treadmill story. Crazy opportunity to get to the downside there. 79. Now we're going to watch Peloton break probably $100. And then we're going to be like, what the heck's going on? So 97.88 right now on Peloton, waiting to see what that does. Baidu goes the other way today. We called that 200 top. Let's go charts. We wanted the break. That never happened. And then they hit it hard down to 187. So again, I tweeted this out the other day as well. If you have an earning report coming out, you're probably going to get short in the market. So just watch out here. Baidu down. It's still up 1%, but short off the pre-market opens. That's what's basically been happening. You saw the same thing happen to Macy's today. Walmart now heading to the downside off that report. You saw Home Depot that we queued up was a good report, downside as well. What's up, Miss?
Hey, Sean, I'm not sure if you guys were talking about Silvergate earlier today, but stock is up more than 10% now.
I mean, well, we haven't talked about it today, certainly, but we did talk about it back when it was in the, and getting towards that like 78, I mean, there was that cluster back at like 78 to 70 down here. Obviously, there was that news that came out and spiked the stock, making essentially this move like 78 to 98, which is very similar to what you're seeing today. And that was a Facebook a DM and the partnership that they had there. It's separated itself, which can be a good thing. It separated itself a little bit from the movement in spot Bitcoin price, which I think is a positive for SI. A caveat aside here, guys, I actually own Silvergate from way back in the day, and there's nothing impressive. I talked about this when it comes to Virgin Galactic, right? Where you had these sort of high-flying stocks, and then you hang on to a piece of it because you're just like, yeah, whatever, I'm in the money. That's stupid. It doesn't matter what your actual price is when you own something. If you've made profit, you think it's going to be a short, you think it's going to come back in, you should just take it off wherever you can, not hold on to a baby position because it comes all the way back in. Because what ends up happening is like you could give up like $50 worth of profit, $40 worth of profit, 50%, all these ridiculous numbers that don't make any sense, guys. So if you get in something that's a pure momentum play and you think it's going to make a hard reversal, you don't think it's a good long anymore, it doesn't matter what price you happen to be into it. I actually like Silvergate. I was looking, and I told you guys this, if it dipped down below like 78 into this cluster range, I was going to buy it. It never did, so I didn't catch it. I think it's a solid play in terms of exposure to, I guess, the broader crypto market. But Coinbase is a similar play, which is a little bit bigger. So I would just check your overall exposure. Like if you already own Square, and if you already own Coinbase, and if you already are long Bitcoin, Ethereum, you have to ask yourself, like, how much exposure do you really, really want by jumping into Silvergate as well? Either way, solid move here. Watch out for like a 105 to 108 area, somewhere in that range. I think it would be a short on a day trade. Other than that, nice move in it today. I don't have any. I wish I did. Brenda, what's up?
Metro Mile, another one that reported looks like aftermarket yesterday. Just popping up here on volume, coming back through to 7. You can see a little one reported aftermarket, as I mentioned. So back above 7 here. We're up now after being negative to start the session. These are all-time lows for Metro Mile, guys.
Metro Mile. Okay, go that extra mile. I wanted to look at, so we had Square. Oh, that's what it was, Tilray. Yeah, Tilray yesterday, big day yesterday for sure. And another one today. So let's wait. Oh, we'll go back to Tilray in a minute. I just want to clarify. We are going to get out if this breaks through 21.16 here on the downside. So if Palantir takes out some of those wicks to the downside back there. We'll get out, but this is just a monster trade here for me so far today on Palantir. But I did want to look at Weed Batman because we'll see here. Tilray yesterday, smoke show to the upside. Did it make a bottom there? I mean, I hate calling marijuana bottoms, but that was some decent action there. We've had volume pick up off this. That was, maybe that was the day it merged with Afrio with the shares. But other than that, like volumes, I guess it's not really picking up too much on the day, so on the daily, so we're not going to call bottoms. But right there, 1350, pretty nice. 2-3 days ago, 1350. Now you're up to $16. So it seems like it's not a big move because again, you have this here that's sort of making the chart look a little silly, but still a nice little bottom there. I think we can, if we can get back up here, I hold way too much till right now because all my Afria and Canopy were my two largest holdings in the weed space. And now it's turned over to Tilray, so that doesn't matter. It's just a new name. We knew that deal was going to happen, but 1950 could be coming for this name, and I like it. So if we get out there, that's going to be a good win for us. Twitter also, I'm a buyer of Twitter. I went long $26 on this name back in March of 2022. Not proud of that because there's so many better names than that, but you could see Twitter here, a nice move down. Like this is why, if you're going to be a Cathie Wood and you're going to come out and say you bought Twitter, I mean, let's not make a call like you think this is a revolutionary product here, Twitter. It's not. It's not even really that great. What you're looking for here is this bounce back off these bottoms, right? So again, trying to throw the weight around there, Cathie Wood, is like trying to push this thing back up. Let's see if it works. I still think Twitter is probably a fade back if it gets to the 62 level. So I like Twitter, but right now for today, look, hits 55 and just makes a merc down. Look at the NASDAQ not doing anything. Look at Twitter coming back to the downside. So you can buy ARK, but I'd wait for it to get liquidated a little bit further.
Ouch. Move down, slide down. I mean, there's lots of things you could say. No, I'm kind of kidding. This ride is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's right back to our price here. It tries to take out the next even number to the upside and does not. So anytime you put a top end break and you sort of casually slide it and round it to an even number, you can get lucky and then it goes to 19. But if it takes 1 penny higher, I'm going to be out when it actually holds that top. This is an incredibly strong move, by the way. I'm still confused by it. The fact that it hasn't now twice flushed a little bit further, but like I said, if it doesn't make the next break to the upside, we'll be sitting in this one. I have my targets out. There's really not much to do here. We're gonna go to Brendan in a quick second. Coinbase continues that push up. This is a nice consolidation off of 250. That's where I'm long. I like to take this hopefully to a 255 move. It's another one of those hopefully $5 moves that you see often in Coinbase. But we're getting on in time here, and I have slid a stop in just to make sure we don't break too far back to the downside. I want to bank some profit. Switch from the short to the long. So far, it's working out. Let's go to Brendo.
Yeah, I think this was last week. We had earnings on 3D System, Triple D here. I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, if I remember correctly. Just popping back up here on volume, guys. 3D Systems up nicely, just broke 25.
MindMed. Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about that. I'm just seeing to see how much Tilray stock I have in my own account here. So we'll look at that afterwards. Okay, Twitter. Okay, still going to the downside. No surprise there. Palantir still moving. Fisker's come off a little bit here. So I think Fisker's probably worth flipping out right now. It just takes out that 1230 high. Let's see how far it goes back down. I mean, we're holding very, very light positions right here. Most of the damage I've already done on the day. You guys have watched me trade all day, so hopefully you've taken advantage of some of the moves. I noticed Uber's back to 50, so hey, that's a good little long. Oh, that's what I wanted to check too. That's why I was in the account. I wanted to check out XL Fleet. You guys remember, so we talked about this on the after show last night at the 3:15 show. We talked about XL Fleet possibly, coming out there with earnings, and we're going to see I don't know. There's some volume there, Brendo. People on the chat saying there was XL Fleet news on the news that I have. I don't see it, and I apologize if you brought it, but up to 7 there, XL Fleet. Again, some of these EV names, nice little bottoms. We'll see. We did talk about buying XL Fleet right here at 850, and then we averaged in down here somewhere. So that's what I was checking out, was what my average price was. We were unable to get out in the middle of the day. Excuse me. I remember exactly this day. This is when they started. They talked about putting F-150s, retrofitting them for some company there. I can't remember who it was, but that was a nice little bump up for XL Fleet. That day we did not get any out because it faded back in the rest of the day, and then you had a nice little move down. So I like to see what that news was there if you have it, Brendo. XL Fleet just definitely gets excited there. Highest, it was about 1030. Lots of volume came into that name. So more to watch on that. And then Fisker, Palantir, PaySafe, and Walmart. Oh man, I'm still holding this very, very small position on Walmart there. We were just trying to see how far that wanted to go down. This is a mistake short, remember. We did give back some of our profits on Walmart, so me no likey that one. What's up, B?
Yeah, it wasn't terribly exciting in the pre-market, but if you remember, we were talking about it yesterday, guys. They did report aftermarket yesterday, but then a couple of analyst moves here to pass along as well. This BTIG price target cut. Canaccord also with a price target cut for XL Fleet. But outside of that, looks like earnings, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they had like a very, very tiny acquisition of like some, I had never heard of the company before. What is it, like World Energy Efficiency Services? That was like $16 million, so that's pretty insignificant. Not going to move the needle there. So I don't know if that was going to be it, that was that news. It looks like it's pretty thin in terms of any catalyst there. It's weird. I mean, I'm still in this Macy trade. And again, none of those pieces of news to me explain that 1030 volume spike. So I kind of feel like there's something at work there that we're not necessarily sure about. Definitely not the acquisition, and unless it was an earnings call, I don't know what would cause it. We're getting to the point where this Macy's, it's like, you know what, or get off the pot. I'm still looking for that break of 19 even. I'm not going to change the plan up, but I'm definitely considering the reverse into a long. I wouldn't have gone long before off 1965, but the longer we hold off of VWAP here, and of course we had that short interest that we're talking about, I'll start considering that long 1965 break. I'm telling you, I'm sitting in this Lordstown here at like 989. That's a good 100-meter time. I wish anyways, that's about all it's good for. And it's basically flat to in the money 10 cents to out of the money 10 cents. I cannot believe it is doing absolutely nothing at this top. It's kind of crazy and freaking me out. What's up, Brendo?
So there is something floating around on Twitter talking about the F-150 once again. So we knew that retrofit news going back a couple months ago, but it looks like there's an article that's floating around on Twitter talking more about the ability for them to retrofit these Ford F-150s into either hybrids or electric of some sort. So I'll keep reading that, but looks like just a heads up on XL, guys.
Yeah, there we go, guys. Okay. So, know the positions that you hold, and that's why we did know that there was the retrofitting there. I mean, that's what they do. So 1065, we'll wait to see. Still needs to crack through VWAP. I'll update on the 315 show what my average price is on that one. Okay, QS. Ooh, QS. Okay, not bad movement for QS now, 2866. Some nice little upside. And again, QS was another name that we went long right here off this, 41. I think it was 41.84. And again, follow me on Twitter. Maybe Valeria, post the handle if you can, please. I do like to post the trades that I get into. So every time I buy something new, guys, no problem. I'm going to put it on Twitter and let you know. So we did buy QS, and then we dumped it right live as the show was a pre-market when we got that Scorpion news. So we lost about, I think it was about 10%. I think we got out about 37 or was it 38 on that day in the pre-market. Thank God we did, because now you're back down to 28. The reason why I say this is I'm wondering if this is an optionable name that we should get, because it has so much upside here. We know the deal with Volkswagen as well. Like, I just think there's just a matter of time before there's something big coming out on QS. I'm light on the stock. This is by no means like me pumping the stock up. I'm not heavy on it, and when I am, I'm told you where I'm long. I'm long up here, 42, so 41 something. So a lot of work to come back for QS, but I do like it, and I am debating picking some more up here on the downside. But realistically, I kind of want to move into Snowflake, the baby brother of Palantir. Okay, now Snowflake coming back to the upside here, 225, a big move on Snowflake. The move already happened on the day that I wasn't here. I don't think I would have traded it, but that would have been a good day to buy it. So 190, 200, nice little bottom. Taking out this level, 211. We can get back to there. I think Snowflake's a buy. But for now, Fisker, 80 cents in the money. Palantir, 60 cents in the money. We're waiting on PaySafe. And Walmart starting to head back down for me on this accidental short. What's up, B? Money talk.
Hey guys, let's have a quick look at currency markets for today. We're still seeing this lingering inflation fears and weakness in the US dollar. You can see recent lows here just as we speak. In fact, for the dollar, it's the DXY dollar index. So on, what is that? That is a daily chart. So we did make recent lows there today. In fact, on the dollar index. So a lot of these going to be higher once again today. The euro 0.5%, in fact, to the upside. Look at the Canadian dollar. It was just 83 cents. Recent highs for the Canadian dollar. British pound up half as well, 142 and change now for the British pound. Pretty much everything else in positive territory. Crypto's not doing a heck of a lot today. This Bitcoin tried to push again to the downside. We're holding 43,000 at the moment, but looking weak again. Same story for Ethereum, back to 3,300. Ripple still holding around 155, but another not so exciting day, I guess, for cryptos, guys, to the downside. Back to you.
Yeah, just responding here. A lot of love on Twitter, guys. Thank you so much. Just responding to some of you guys on your messages as we go back to basically the high of our day today is right now. Palantir, new highs, bang. Fisker, dollar in the money, bang. PaySafe, no bangs. Trying to come back, but I should have longed it off that 12 there. Yeah, we're going to wait on that one. And again, you're going to get a live picture of me and Randy cruising in the Fisker Ocean when and if he ever gets it. We're going to do that live on the show. Hopefully, we'll bring that out and we'll show you Randy, Trader TV Randy in the building right now. Okay, well, you saw him ring the bell. That was a disaster. Okay, we'll wait for that one. You got to wait, Randy. I don't know. We'll see if Randy can get the closing bell right tonight if he's still around. Amgen, oh no, Valeria, do you want the closing bell, Valeria? Oh, you're going to give him another chance to go. Okay, I know Neil was looking at ride to the short side.
I'm just sitting in it, doing nothing. It's ridiculous.
It's doing nothing. I just wanted to have a look now. I haven't looked yet at it, to be honest with you. So up to 10. Ride.NQ up to $10. Let's see. We're already, So at 10.20 there. This was it because, oh no, it was CCIV that got the new ticker, right? LCID Lucid. So Ride now getting accelerated, which is all good, man, because we got the dollar in the money right now on Fisker. And Fisker looking to take out its high. It's very, very close to that high. We told you about where we're going to get out of Fisker if it drops back down. So right now we have nothing to worry about on that one. PaySafe, Palantir, Fisker, Walmart. That's what we got on board right here.
And of course, I'm just sitting here in this ridiculous chasing this AGM. We talked about that 430 breakdown. I didn't catch it. It's flushed from like 437. I don't get it. I hope somebody got that short because it looks pretty fantastic so far. You're being the money. I'm going to take this round off if it gives me like quarters or so. But as I say it, there's another breakdown in AGEN. So it's at 415, and we talked about Austin 416 there. So that's the other short price you can look for. I just got triggered in on a 15 break. So forget about those 30s. That's sort of come and gone. AGEN, new trade alert for me at least. I mean, I'm sitting in that ride, and the longer it holds, and AGEN probably a little bit safer of a short trade than ride, and I think that goes without saying in Lordstown. The longer it just continues to grind up here, it's going to break that even. And by the even, I mean that 10-20 area eventually. I mean, it stopped out at 19 the first time. That's probably luck. It rounded off at a lower high, tried to short in front of 10s a little bit more, and forget about it. It continues to press higher. I'm not going to fight this one anymore. If it breaks 10-20, I'm going to be out. There you go. That's my stop order being filled. So we'll do this one. We'll hit that key for it. I haven't been able to do that too many times today. Well, actually, I haven't been able to hit that one too many times this week, but there's one for you. Continued strength in Lordstown, right to the top. The EV names have been absolute fire. At this time of day, I basically covered all my long trades. It's not a bad out in Fisker, but this is still continuing its grind. It just bounced off 12 even. No real significant pullbacks. You had to go back into 950 when you had one shot to get in at VWAP at like 1140. Since then, very, very shallow retracements have been the name of the game here. And that goes across the board because I can look at Tesla and show you basically the same thing to the upside. A little earlier on, it was giving you these nice little drawbacks in, and then now you're seeing nothing but ramping to the upside. I like 593. We hollered that one out there for a bit of a short style trade. It got to 90, so that price never came in, and you got to be able to stick to your plan, guys. So if I like a particular price and the trend is going in the other way, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to get in early. I'm going to wait for the price that I like that much and no more. I'm still in Macy's, and it hasn't given any trouble. But remember, this is a reverse into long if it breaks 1965, and then I can go over that MITO, which is basically the easiest trade that we've had on all morning. I just got some more shares out at 138, so we've only had that 166 entry. The first time it tested a VWAP, I threw an order back in at 150. It hasn't so much as back in at 150. It hasn't so much as sniffed or threatened going back to the upside, but it's more about the plan of action. I was sitting in the short in the pre-market, and I was telling you guys it can't break that 148, 150 level MITO. So when it hits 930, going into 930, no average in, allow it to break the pre-market high because there was a 180 level lingering. When it failed off of that, you get back into the short trade. It's one of those setups that is a high percentage play. If it fails to break that top, getting right back in on that failure. It's trapped a lot of long breakouts that are aggressively taking a pre-market breakout high and getting absolutely burned, and then you're playing against that the entire morning. So think about the counterparty in a trade. A lot of times it can give you a good idea as to what you should be doing. I actually wrote this one off. I mean, when the first time someone mentioned Neil, look at Virgin Galactic, I was like, it's not exciting me. It's actually starting to get to the point where you can think about it. Now, I know they've talked about potentially, maybe, possibly, sort of, I don't know, having a new launch date set up, and they keep pushing these back for their latest test. I don't know if that's going to be the catalyst that gets them going, but you can't ignore the fact that it did make a hard flush out bottom. Anytime you have and this is a green wick, guys, when it had that gap down to 14, back up to 18 on that particular day. As we get into that level, that's where the real break's got to be. Now, it had just a redonkulous long side move that failed hard at 18 even. So that's the breakout that I want to see over 18. Till then, I look at last week's top, 16.95 to 17. I'll buy that dip for a day trade and then no more. Are we already talking? We're getting pretty close to talking about 11 even on Lordstown. That stock is going absolutely ape, you know what. I'm going to have to sit that one. It's too strong for me. I should have been picking on Nikola. That's the one that rolled over.
Yeah. Okay. Walmart moved downside again. We've looked at this. This is a mistake trade, so I don't really know why, but it's fall. I mean, I know why we made a mistake because we left our stop order there and we quickly got out right away in that same minute. But now it's falling down. So the more I look at this Walmart trade, I've already put a stop order upside there, and it's breaking down. Like here's the 3-minute chart. You could see it's just the moving average coming back down. 3-minute moving average there on the VWAP. So let's wait to see what happens to the downside now. And Walmart just keeps on coming, and we'll wait. Like 142, decent out there if we need to, but we'll see up 1.7%, trying to give it back. So that's why I'm holding on to it. I mean, it's a mistake trade, but that's, if you're wondering why we have Walmart, we did like the long initially. Now we wait for it. Other than that, we looked at Tilray. That came off a little bit. NIO, Tesla's still riding around. I just got back there. We ride now 1080. I just heard Neil talking about that one. 3D system. So, that's one that Brendan talked about, and you guys have been looking at that on the chat as well. So let's have a quick look at Triple D right now. 26, 2580, good run up to the upside, 2480 back. We could see a break here of 2434, but it's not even like on the daily chart though. This still has tons of room to go. So I don't know, it's above its 50-period moving average. That's a good one. I think it's still a relatively heavy short interest on 3D, so you can have a look at that as well. That's why we called up, remember earlier on, guys, when we called up the Fisker trade and we talked about the short that was involved in Fisker? Now you know why, like you're seeing where it's going now. So Fisker upped that 8% and just kept pushing up all day. So those are some things you got to look at, short interest. So we're going to do that as well on XL Fleet, Fisker, and just see where we are on some of these names, guys. Palantir, I don't know what's going on with this name, but we are in the money 80 cents on this one. So a good little move upside on Palantir. No end in sight for this, man. Just keeps on going up, up, and away. You guys know that we're pretty loaded up in PLTR. So enjoying this on the show and enjoying this in the personal account as well.
Just breaking 50, they're just noting Uber. No trade on Uber right now, but it just broke that $50 range for like the fifth particular time. It looks like this is a bit of a failed break, so I haven't been trading this one recently. I'm going to look for a fade off of this 50 level. This could be one of those things where if we're holding the top end of this range or we're still testing, unable to break 50-50 to the upside, unable to go below VWAP, where this could be an afternoon 315 style of trade that we have on. It's also entirely possible. I mean, AGN, whatever, that's small cap. We talked about it. I mean, missed the 430, got the 415. If it breaks down to 4 even, I'll take some out for like a 10-cent win. But Macy's, twice it's bounced off this bid. I have a bid at like 19.17 here. It's bounced just shy of it. It continues to slide down. It's possible that this stays a short all day long. Now, I said I'd reverse into a long trade because it was holding VWAP. Now that I've gotten that fill and we'll continue to ride the bear on Macy's, I sort of go back to okay, if it wants to continuously test those lows, I can now reevaluate the other way. It's shown another sign of weakness. I'm holding onto my short. We still have our target down in front of that low of the day. I don't have to go into the long trade. I can change my mind if I see some consolidation and some strength above that 30 mark. But once again, Macy's rears its ugly head to the downside. I hate to go, it's moving like crazy, so there's no ignoring what's going on in ride here, guys. And sometimes, basically what happened here is like when I got that reversal, when I looked like a reversal to me, I thought it should have halted. When that didn't work, I was basically confused as to price action of the stock a little bit, so I don't even try that 11 even, which looks like it would have been a good one. But sometimes something is so strong, you just take your hands off the keyboard and say, I'm not going to fight it. Lordstown had that kind of a feel to it there for me. Unfortunately, 11 looks like it would have been a fantastic trade, but I don't have it. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to step away, admit the fact that, hey, I didn't have a good read on this particular stock. I did that yesterday with the long eventually on Discovery, and that probably saved me a bunch of money, and sometimes you just have to be able to do that. Even if you liked it a lot going into the move, things can change, and if you don't change with them, the market can punish you rather quickly, believe me.
Yeah, well, what's up, too? Shout out to Neo retweeting some of my stuff there, talking about their coin. So, yeah, we remember that on the TSX. We had them not too long ago talking about staking and whatnot. That's Coin. I think we probably have them. Let's just double check. It's on the Neo exchange. Yeah, there it is, Coin. So we just had those guys on our show as well. Yeah, I mean, not a great move to the downside here, but watch out for them. Remember, they're invested big, I believe, in Ethereum. So when that happens, you're going to get beat down just a little bit there, but still big opportunities around in
Polkadot, I think,
in lots of names. Sorry, what was that?
No, I was thinking, and Polkadot, I think, was the other one that they were in. It was Ethereum and Polkadot as well.
Oh, was it Polkadot? Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. They're talking about staking new names there. Palantir, the only thing we're staking is our shares to the ground because we're not getting anything out on Palantir until we revisit some of these highs, 28, 29. And I mean, obviously, we talk about this high, but I'm looking at these highs, these little levels here. $28, $29. I think we're on the march to there, not especially, I mean, when this market starts to blow. And look what's happening right now. I'm not trading ETH here or anything right here, but look what's happening to Ethereum right now, hitting off that 3,300. This is the level that I said was a buy level, 3,300. I've been tweeting that level out as well. So there it is, dipped down here during the show right now. Didn't have any opportunities to buy. Let's see if we can buy more Ethereum coming up. If you look at like a 15-minute chart of Ethereum, we've already been down here the last couple days, and including, I guess, what day is today? May 18th. Yeah, so yesterday, May 17th, and this day's May 16th. We dipped below that 3,300. We actually get to 3,200. So maybe that 33 turns into 32. But watch out. If we could break back above 36, and you can look at this like this. Like you can look at coins now. They've been around long enough that I think technical analysis and some of these levels will start to remain pretty solid. So let's watch out for Ethereum making moves back to the downside and then getting longer, 3,200. Watch out for 3,600 break. I think that's probably worth something anyways. I took some more ADA when we broke through 2 and it went to 240. So that's a good one there for sure. PaySafe battling, Walmart battling, and not much happening, but that was a nice move there in crypto. I'm actually just going to get out of Palantir now at 2150. It's bounced around a little bit too much. Let's just zoom in quick. I mean, is there any levels here that we need to be concerned? But what about this? Just 2140. We're just going to get out. Like, we're 80 cents in the money. If we break back down below 2140, we're going to get out in case this NASDAQ turns its ugly head around. So 2140, we're going to get out 2138. Okay, guys, on Palantir. And that will end up that trade. And yeah, we punch it in the mouth again today.
And an oldie but a goodie, a stock that you might remember here. Well, I mean, Oxygen, you guys have probably traded this one before. Big volume spike a few minutes ago, pushing it through $9. I'm going to go back into last week just to quickly show you. Had a double top. And we talked about this 1065 ad nauseum as it was happening and how great the shorts were off of it. Now, the lower high it put in was at 935 here, going back to the 13th. Now that we test into that particular price, I go from that 1065 to looking at that 935, which we're approaching. So a reversal off there would signal a bit of a short trade for me. Brendo, got some news?
Yeah, I was just double checking on that. It was Rosenblatt with an upgrade on Oxygen today, but I don't see anything else. So yeah, a whole bunch of volume just came in there not too long ago for OCGN trying to go, guys.
Hey, we know Rosenblatt, so good look there. Look, it's always good to know what the news is. Now, that's that 935 price as we get close to it. I mean, we're sitting here on the offer. There's nothing painfully obvious that I see, but I'll go with the same thing. And obviously, you guys saw what happened with Lordstown. It blows through some of those levels. The plan of action is always failed break through that price. It could have stalled shy of it, and I would have liked that. Clearly, that hasn't happened. So I want a failed breakout through that 935, get some stop outs. It's checked the box of kind of going parabolic into that price, which we tend to like, overextending itself a little bit. So if it makes a stop out of some traders through 35, doesn't get through that 50 mark, I like that sort of slam back in, and then you catch it, if it stalls at like 47, 48 or whatever it might be, catch it at like the low 30s or maybe like 25s as far as it goes. If it doesn't quite get to that 35, that's okay as well. Just tick to 34. So if it starts to make any kind of move down into that 925 range, you can I'll probably take that short in the mid 20s off of the 935 itself. A couple of ways we like to do it here, or at least a couple of ways I like to get into that short trade. And here it comes, very, very close. It's inside of the range. I don't want to jump the gun. It's still testing that 935, but if it gets down to 25s, little 10-cent reversal, I'll get in the short, tight stop.
Okay, we did put in a, oh no, did it work? I don't know. I was trying to put in a stop order for Palantir, a trailing stop. Oh, that's coin. And I was going to do the same thing for Fisker, as we are now, we are just mooning here on Fisker as we go to the moon, the rocket ship taking off. Good trade, man, up 10%. We talked about this today. And again, when I tell you that we're trying to hold this, that's what we generally mean. So here goes Fisker up that 10%, now up to 12.35 and change. I'm going to put a stop order in now, probably back to here. That's about 20 cents. So, we can adjust it. That's one of the good things about using the P-Pro 8 platform. There's so many different key combinations that you can have, and one of them is a trailing stop. So I think we'll just try it out. I don't normally use trailing stops, normally use exact stops, but that way it lets it kind of ride a little bit higher, and I don't have to worry too much about it. So 12.25 here would be about 13, 14 cents back to the downside. So I think that's probably a level that we like to get out. So we're going to put a trailing stop here, 13, 14 cents on Fisker. It's worked on Palantir. I don't see my stop order go out there, so we'll wait to see on that one. I'll adjust it. We'll go back down about 10 cents on that. Ford up nicely today, about 1 and a bit percent, was higher off the open. That's why we didn't take that 1250 break. Remember when we opened up the daily chart and we looked at it and there was really nothing that we loved about that 1250 break? I'm gonna wait to play breakouts on Ford until 13. So all I'd rather do now is just get long once it comes back in. So this is not in enough. I'd rather this come back down into the teens. Still holding the Walmart short. Dash, 143 now, days high basically on Dash, as we had that 137 break. That was a good one. Dash up 7%. Tilway rocking and rolling. Show's almost done, but the moves don't appear to be done by any stretch of the imagination.
Looks like I got almost a bottom wick of a move here which happens on a penny stock very, very rarely here. But anyways, that AGEN. I said I was in front of that 4. This is like 406 here. I miss a 430 break. I catch the 415. I'll call it the 416 break because Austin 416 that you mentioned, Sean. But as it comes back to the upside, I don't want to average in at that same price that I got in the 415. I'm going to go back to that 430 level, and then if it tests VWAP or close to that, I'll be shorting in the 420 range if I can. So OCGN never triggered back down to that 925. So as it was in the midst of that potential break, you saw it try and get down. I'm waiting for it to make a fail at that 935. It does not. It breaks, heads into 950. If it fails to break 950, this is where I would try back down into that 35 range, that previous high off of the 950 level. So that's the way I'm looking for it. You don't want to trigger in too early. You don't want to just randomly short it in front of the top without a kind of a stop. It would have been 35 and it made the move down there. Now I want to have that stop at 950 if I can, but I needed to break back down to that 935. Now, if I short at 43, are you losing less, 43 to 50? Of course, the math says that's true, but I tend to prefer joining some selling as I do here at 37 than trying to make a move happen or trying to get the perfect price. I want to see some kind of a dump, whether it's longs getting out, some short bets putting on. You prefer it longs getting out and thinking it's a top, but beggars can't be choosers. Any sell action is fine. I got the 37 short. The stop is at 950. Now we can just hold.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're just letting this day continue for us. We're at the highest spot we've been at. We'd be even higher if we didn't accidentally have that Walmart trade. Palantir, so we have no new 10-cent stops coming in on all those names. Ocugen up to 939. Ooh, yeah. We did go over Ocugen, didn't we? OCGN now breaking upside. 930, 940. Here's a daily chart. Here's a 20-minute chart on OCGN 950. Looks almost a little bit like too packed up here at 970 right there on OCGN. So the 20 minutes not really going to give me trades right now on OCGN, but we can still look at it. to see where it's going. A big move upside. Oh, come on. Sorry, I was looking at different charts, didn't even realize it wasn't loaded on here. There's the volume coming in. Breakthrough 9, nice trade. Now we'll wait for 950. I think just play the momentum through 950, guys, if it comes through. So Occugen through 950, I like it. We'll play it, not giving it too much room. Back to 935. Let's go 950.
I mean, that's basically the exact range I got in with the other direction. So I like that 35. That's where we got, well, 37 is where I got in. If it breaks 50, I'm out. I'm not going long on this stock. I feel like it's already come far enough. It's actually up that 10%. And then just looking at the overall price action that usually happens here, if this move extends into if there's going to be a break that I would like, it'd be probably a little bit more on the $10.50 to $11 range, just going into that daily chart. So I waited for my spot on Occugen. It came through. We're going to lose only about 15 pennies or so. That's the name of the game for me on those shorts. We identified that level at 935. Again, if it goes back up to that 1050, like I said, that 1065 from last or a couple of weeks ago, last week, that's where I really like that short trade. It was a fantastic one before, but I had to try this level here. If you have a setup that works for you, you take it. That's the way that it works. You understand that it's no skin off your back. You win 70 or 80% of the time on something. That means you are paying for it with those losses, as long as you execute your plan. Now, if I had jumped the gun and shorted it at 25s or 30s when I didn't have the entry point, then I'd be mad at myself, but I can't have that problem if you follow your plan. To go back to that plan, I want to go back to the AGN. I did not put an order, I should probably do this, did not put any orders in. I said I'm not going to reload at 415 where I got it the first time. I'm going to wait for 25s. It's stalling out exactly at 415. You have to resist the temptation to say, oh my God, it's slowing down. I might not get a chance to get more shares in here. No. If it spiked down to this price and held 4 even, I thought that would be the first level that was key. Then I have to have the patience to back off of it. If it's going to give me the win, I'm holding it all afternoon long, that's fine. If I can't get any more shares at 25, so be it. At this point, the move is either give me more at 25s or do absolutely nothing, guys. So if I have to do nothing on AGN, just sit in the shares we have, that is perfectly fine. And at lunchtime, you got to be willing to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And we're looking at PaySafe right now. It battled all. So see, my charts are still OCGN. We're long OCGN, but okay, PaySafe right now battled back. We should have been long down here at 12. Didn't even, we were watching it, but not aggressive enough with it. Should have been bidding down here, not waiting for VWAP. We should have just took a 12. We should be long here, 1204 break. We're not, so now we just got to wait. This is where we're long, PaySafe. So letting that one give a little bit of work. OCGN, man, here it goes. So we're long at 52. Again, that was a 50 break. We got 52. So getting a little bit excited. Let's just see how far it goes. We are going to get some out in the high 50s if we can. It's doing a lot of volume, but it's not doing much. So that break should have given us a little bit more energy there, and it didn't. So we'll wait on OCGN now, trying to go through 50. Normally, when it goes, it should go. So the fact that it didn't there, bothering me a little bit. We could take out a piece if we want. So there, we'll take out some at 46, but we still want it to go upside here. We're giving it back to 920, sort of where this move started. So let's wait to see. We could go, Neil lost on the short, I could lose on the long, and then we just play in between. So we'll wait to see. It goes as high as 54 there. Obviously, we need that to break in order to make some money. So let's wait to see on OCGN.
Well, one of us better win is all I got to say there. Here's Tesla. Here's 593. So it continues to what a strong move it's been. I'm not really there was literally no level up here, but it's the same sort of thing. If it tries to reverse, this is a level I like much more than that 590. It really never gave you that 560, which is a bit of a shame. But if there's going to be a turn, it's either this or 600 for me. Brennan?
Market's pretty quiet here, guys. Let's have a look at a resource name. We saw a number of energy stocks pop up yesterday. This is California Resources, CRC, 14%. Just broke through 28.5 there on volume. All-time highs today for CRC, having a nice day.
Someone just said QS spike there. I don't know. Let's go have a look. I mean, I like QS. I like to get into that name, and I just don't know on a day trade what we want to do with QS. Let's just see. Did it spike? Oh, yes, it did. Darn, oh my God. We were just talking about this thing at 28.80 right there. Good spike. Yeah, that just happened. I think we could rewind the tape there and think about when we were talking about QS there. I don't know. I was just talking about maybe that they would get some interest from VW there, more than they already have. Wow, did we miss that one? But thank you for the heads up on this spike. Yeah, QS. I'm wondering, there must be some kind of news, or maybe not. Maybe that spike right there is just on the 30 break. But yeah, volume definitely picking up. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's enough about news, but yeah, wow, I mean, almost up 10% now, QS. Okay, loving life on that one for sure. Walmart coming back to the downside. Looks like we're having a problem with a 141 break, so we'll probably put that out there, take our 70 cents on the accidental short, which we held it all and it wasn't responsible and got out right away. So let's just get out now on Walmart, put a little bit more money in our pocket for that name at least here today. We did give some back on that accident. So Fisker still making moves to the upside, but our trailing stop, damn you, trailing stop gets us out there at 44. So that's basically, that's more than a $1 win as we punch Fisker in the face. And not only that, man, we gave that to you real early. Look at that price, $11.60 if the market likes the report. So did they like the report? Yes, they did. There's Fisker right there on a nice little bump down, man. There's that 60 we took. We like it so much, man. You got to believe in your trade. We take it again down there at 11.25. So big trading happening. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Only 8 minutes left in this show, but come back at 3:15.
Exactly, and we'll round it off with, I haven't hit the psychedelic one, but I talked you through AGEN wanting to wait for a better price, and it's going to hit that 4 again, so we're going to get some more shares out there and get that nice little scalp trade. Look, you miss out on 430, that's fine. I think I saw somebody got that breakdown at 430 on the chat there, but 415 gave you another actionable trade. Gave you 2 times to be able to add to it, and I said why I like the 25 better. Now that it's filled again at 4, I'm looking for a breakdown and then maybe 390 or so, or just out in front of that 390 range. So I'm looking for a 4 break, take out some more shares on that. If it breaks that low, if it breaks 390, it's a 326 stop. There's some runway below this price, but that's a re-entry point for me. Like if you get a flush through the low of the day like this, where it's been sort of gently sliding down, like massaging to the downside, I'd look to see if it can't break 390 and add to the position. Will I take shares off in front? Sure, because I want to be shorting any pop into that 425 range if I can on AGN. So it's just that. Somehow still in Macy's. I mean, it just, if you want to talk about range bound, this is one of those, it's been a bit of a gift if you looked at that range. If you looked at that range all morning long, there we go. If you look at that range all morning long, it still has not broken in 1965, so I'm still sitting in it. I don't want to be adding to it. At some point, I think it could be a reversal. I've backed away from that now, and I'm looking for either like 860, 870 near the bottom, or bust. And bust is at 1965 and has been for the greater part of, I guess, 2 hours now since we got into that Macy's short trade. And MITO, that's doing its own thing. I don't know. I got Brent. Congratulations if you hung on to Oxygen and it's working for you there. But I got stopped out. You guys knew where my stop was on that move at 950. It gave a bit of a retracement, so you could have got some out here maybe at 930s. Hasn't really made that sharp retracement. It's trying. I think maybe you could be thinking about getting back in off the high of the day. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fight the tape on this one, as it looks like it's pretty strong. Entire EV space, and that throw Oxygen in there has been a big time mover. One that we've gotten away from, and just to recap on Coinbase, the long breakout, solid, a couple of legs out. We got a scalp trade on the 50 break. It did come back below that 49. So much like the shorts in front of 245, the third time was not a charm. So you win twice and lose on the third. Same thing happens with that long trade as well. It never dipped back into 245 to bounce off VWAP, so no long. However, guys, we're holding above 250, or at least trying to. That's a great sign for Coinbase going into the afternoon session.
Yeah, love Coinbase, love PaySafe, love OCGN. Let's see if we can go. Now we're finally starting to go. We try to get some more low 30s there. We miss. We were waiting at 58, actually, guys. So let's see if 58 can print us. Did we get it? Did we get it? Go, 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 go. We're on a paid ECN, so it has to break to go through. There it is. Yes, sir. We're winning again. Let's see if OCGN can go, though. It's not a big win. We want a higher. I mean, you take some risk on a stock that moves a little bit here. And let's see if we can just get rewarded. But there's an out on OCGN. One part. Let's see if we get more. I mean, it may continue its downward push there. It tried, like, oh, man, like 30. It ticked 30. Darn it. Our out was going to be 20 there. Should have got more long at that bottom, but here we go. OCGN put another feather in our cap here today for that one. So I don't have a negative name on the board, so it's been good so far. Can't complain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 symbols today. OCGN could go negative. I mean, if this breaks back down through 920, we will be negative. So let's position pending the perfect day. Oh, we have a Street Fighter thing. I'll hit that when we get back. Brendo.
All right, first, what we have to do, guys, is show you some earnings, but just a reminder, 3:15 this afternoon, come back, join us. We'll talk about earnings again during the afternoon show as we wrap up the day. But here's a look at what's coming up tonight or before the open tomorrow?
Lows. I mean, Lowe's and Target, of course, are going to be front of your mind, and those could be potentially even better than some of the retail names that we got in here today. JD.com, and Baidu, oddly enough, we were looking at Baidu and it was on our watch list, but I missed out on a big move there. I didn't even take 2 looks at it, which is maybe a missed opportunity. Maybe we shouldn't sleep on the volatility that could come into JD here, Sean.
Yeah, no, I mean, JD's always a volatile name for sure. TJX, I talked about that earlier on the retail kind of move. Analog Devices, good space, right name. Take Two, another big name. Good job, Valeria. These are all good names. Target, Lowe's, everything going. I don't know what that Zim is. We'll have to look at. Maybe it's a recent IPO.
Invaders.
But I don't know. We'll check it out. Zim. But right now, OCGN, PaySafe. Yes, sir. There we go. So we've been bullish on PaySafe from long time. So PaySafe now to the upside. We'll just wait to see. We've been long this name since it was BFT. So hopefully this BFTs itself all the way to the upside there. And we'll watch PaySafe. I'll probably be holding this one at 315 when we come back, guys. I'm not have any plans of getting out of this name. So let's hold this all day. PSFE on the rip. So we'll wait to see. Too bad we got out of our Fisker. Good trade, nice move, bang to the upside. Good move there. But yeah, everything making moves today, guys. Happy with the day. We have 40-50% left of our OCGN trade there. So waiting to see if we get some more upside moves on this one. This could be the negative stock today for us. But there's Ryu there for the day. It's been a good one. We love some Street Fighter. I still issue the challenge, but I mean, I issued this challenge so long ago that hopefully COVID, when we do have this meetup that apparently Valeria is organizing, I don't know, we will hopefully have a Street Fighter machine there.
That's a big ask.
Yeah.
Valeria's like, what is Street Fighter and what machine are you talking about?
She's
there?
looking at me like, what are you talking about?
It's okay. You can Google that one. Trust me, it's a big one. Just on an off. I'm a more Mortal Kombat guy. The trailer, I still haven't watched it, but I mean, because it's on Amazon Prime and I should. I just have no time with the family. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore, but that trailer looks fantastic. Only because, I don't know, whatever. GameStop just turned positive on the session, so I got it out of the way. There it is. GameStop is positive. It had sold off all morning long, and now it's in the green. I guess maybe we'll be looking at that one come at 3:15 going into the close for that final hour, which we know is going to be hot fire. It always is. One more thing we got to do before we get out of here. We got to go to Ms. V in the Carolina Blue for what national day it is.
I know it's a lot of opportunities on the market today and you're all very busy, but please spend just less than a second of your time and like this video, guys. Your support is so important for us and we work every day really hard to make the community better each day. So guys, smash the like button right now and we will see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern time to trade the close together. Happy National Cheese Souffle Day, everyone.
I've never really been a fan, but I'm not going to hate on it.
Nope.
Cheese souffle.
I mean, look, I like a lot of things. I like most things, to be honest with you. I'm kind of not that picky of an eater. I'm probably not going to dig into the cheese souffle, but to each their own. You eat what you like. You enjoy. You got to do you, and that's the ultimate thing there. Yeah, not for me by any stretch of the imagination on cheese souffle. And the one time that I do not take a short off the top on GameStop. It looks like it tried to come back in there. We'll revisit that one at the end of the show or the end of the day here at 3:15. I think it's going to be a bit of a mover. I'm curious, Brendo, cheese souffle, is that for you?
Not really a big cheese guy, but souffle, sure.
Right?
But no.
I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of love for cheese souffle in the chat there, guys. But anyways, good apple fritter would be nice. I would love to see one Dave on the chain there in the chat. Yes, I always do. But we already had Timbits. Thank you to Randy. Making up for the Bell debacle with the Timbits, he'll have to also hopefully double down at the close. That was interesting. Ringing the bell with 10 seconds to go when there's a countdown right in front of our faces. I don't know how it was missed, but Randster found a way to do it. I get the feeling it was a little bit on purpose. Guys, do not forget, come right back at 3:15. It is going to be a wild closing show. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We always do, but today should be especially good with some of the meme stocks going again. The EV space going nuts. That could be a secondary push in the afternoon after those announcements. For the entire team, right down the line, Miss V with the deuces. Give it to the cam. There it is. You're on camera. And for Sean Katina and Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you at the close.
Okay.
Bye, guys.